The final day of the round of ASL 13. I am Nyoken, joined by Scan. I think we're going to go straight into introductions and interviews with our players. So let's see what they have to say.
Okay, we're once again back to ASL Season 13, Round of 4, Match 1. This is Day 2. And 4 days ago we were watching Light vs Beast, the best of 7 series on a Round of 4. We have seen how Light was playing such a great performance and great mind games against Protoss, and he's already waiting in an ASL final stage. And we also have to see of this Round of 4, this Match 1 of Day 2, Rain vs Soma, and we are going to be taking a look at these key points. Rain got out of his Round of 24 group as the first player, and Soma got out of his Round of 24 as the second player here. And interesting over here that Soma has some difficulty not being able to make out of Round of 24 as the first player there, but he got his form back in Round of 16. Both players got out of his Round of 16 as the first player. And in Round of 8, Rain shows such a great performance against Soki that game, 3-2. And Soma shows such an incredible micro and mind game against Rush, 3-0 there. And she's also explaining more of Rain's information that he hasn't played about almost 3 years. And if Rain makes it into this final stage in this ASL Season 13, that is going to be his second time making it into the final. And that's also going to be 3 consecutive times Protoss player making it into the final stage. That will be Snow. There it is. Okay, Snow, Mini, and Rain. And also we will be taking a look at the Soma here. It will be his second time making it to the final stage. And another Zerg who's making it to the final stage more than 2 times. That will be so far right now Effort Queen. And if Soma actually makes it in, then that is going to be his third Zerg who made it into the final stage more than 2 times. So she is explaining more of these winners prediction on online, and a lot of people are expecting Rain to win. 53% of the people are expecting Rain to win this best of 7 series, and 47 for Soma. It's kind of interesting to know the race favor of this matchup is kind of lean more to Zerg, but a lot of fans out there chose Protoss, and we also asked round of 16 players that who's going to be making it to the final stage of this round of 4. We can see Action, JYJ, Mini, Shuttle, JD, Royal, Demo, and Best. Pretty much a lot of them chose for Soma. Couple of them did choose for Rain. And of course, she is also talking more of this Hot 6 commercial, sponsored by Hot 6. Light is waiting in the final stage, and we're gonna be moving into this game number 1 momentarily. And I think we're gonna be moving into the players' highlight scene. And of course we will not have any sound of this during this video or scene, because we'll be uploading on YouTube later on. So what do you think of this today's match? Rain versus Soma.
Well, I think it'll be really good. You know, I'm surprised to see that the fans voted Rain going to win. But the pros seem to think Soma's going to win. But you know what I noticed in the pro predictions? There's no Snow prediction. Snow did not make a prediction.
Oh yeah, he got knocked out in the round of 24 by Gammo 2 times.
Yeah, but last season Snow nailed every prediction. So
that is also true. And once again, we did not hear Kester Park's voice, so we'll be opening up Africa mainstream platform to hear what he's saying. So please give me a moment. We don't hear his voice. Pretty much saying, about today's match and how Rain is feeling about it, I suppose. Okay, let's hear what he's saying. So Castor Park is saying something about Soma. That when you were active in 3 years ago, Soma wasn't that popular and he wasn't that strong Zerg, but what do you think about Soma? So Rain is saying about his past, even though it was 3 or 4 years ago. Soma didn't show that much of a game on offline stage, but he definitely acknowledged of Soma's skill and mechanic wise, so he kind of respects about Soma's playstyle. Castor Park is asking Rain, is this going to be a tough game or tough best of 7 series for you? And Rain says something about wasn't able to hear his answer clearly. So Castor Park is also asking the Soma, you have to beat Rain in order to be in the ASL final stage. There are some people are saying you did not improve that much. You've been playing almost a similar playstyle over and over, so
아니 그렇다면 정윤종 선수 푸항이 900일 만에 ASL 들어와서 4강까지 올라온 상황인데 박상현 선수의 시나리오생.
So Soma is pretty much saying he's just feeling confident with his playstyle, even though he hasn't reinvented of any of ZBP playstyle, but he's just feeling great with his current form. So is Rain a tough player to play against? And Soma is saying he thought Rain is just kind of like a decent Protoss player, but then after watching Rain versus Soki in the round of 8, beating Soki of that best of 5 series, his opinion started to change. He started to respect Rain. Is such a great player, so he definitely needs to prepare a lot of this best of 7 of round of 4. So Castor Park is asking to Rain, you have the trophy, you won the ASL in the previous, but Soma doesn't. Soma does not have the trophy. Do you think this career does affect of this best of 7 series? Or with the confidence wise, with the mindset? And Rain is saying he kinda have to go with it. Like, career does matter. Since he does not have any trophy, of course he must be very desperate for sure, and also lack of experience. So Rain is very confident with his experience, more in terms of experience wise, and he's gonna be taking him down.
그래요. 자 박상현 선수 한번 준우승 이후에 그 넘어서는 모습을 보여줘야 되는데 대회에서. So
since you got the second place in the previous tournament,
생각한 정윤종 선수,
it's probably the time for you to get the trophy and change your career.
웃고 좀 여유롭게 하고 있는데 설마 박상현?
He's asking about Rain's. What he thinks about Rain and how he's gonna be feeling about playing against him. So he seems very shy to say some comments. So any last word before we go into the game? He does respect about Rain's performance and how strong he is, that he made it into the round of 4 and after that 3 years of break. But it is time for him to get some rest of this offline tournament. He wants to take him down of this best of 7 series easily. So Rain is also saying about League of Legends tournament. They're also playing other tournaments event on a Africa platform. Rain won the League of Legends small league tournament, and he's probably going to be having some similar potential of winning of this best of 7 semifinal. So he's probably going to be having some great feeling. And thank you for the interview. And we'll be starting this best of 7 of this round of 4 momentarily.
Yep, thank you for the translation scan. And it's funny to hear Rain talking about winning a league championship, and then we know that he was a monster in StarCraft 2, and now he's potentially going to win a championship in StarCraft 1. This guy can do it all. And I was looking at the chat the whole time. I saw a couple of Puwang in the chat, which means Protoss King. He's just absolutely amazing Protoss. I think this is going to be very exciting. I think we're going to be going into the highlights that you mentioned in just a second. So, yep, here we go.
Should I play the sound? Should be okay, probably. Yeah, 948 days of rest. Well, I guess the sound is really loud, so I'll just mute it. The music is really loud. So, that was the highlight of Rain, how well he was performing. And that's also Soma in Season 9. Got a second place playing against Queen. I think he lost that game 4-3 that time, but now he's much a stronger player than before. And that's Rain in the previous Soma. Who has the highest win rate of a ZVP? Wasn't it Soma back then? Does he still have the highest win rate? Still, or did it go down?
I don't know. I know it was Queen for a long time, but then he lost all those series to Mini, and it kind of decimated his win rate. After that, go ahead.
Best of 7 2 times against Mini.
Yeah, after that, I can't remember who's second place. I know that a lot of Zergs are very strong at ZVP, of course, so it wouldn't surprise me to see Soma up there. But yeah, today's matchup should be very good. I was thinking about how Soma won his games versus Rush, and if you think about how he actually won, he won with a lot of counterattacking. And how do you think that will fare versus a Protoss? Like, do you expect to see counterattacks, or do you think we're just going to have a big slugfest in the center of the map?
Well, we have seen some counterattacks of I don't know whether it was on ASL performance or the other events like the Ultimate Battle. Like sometimes Protoss players do go for the backstab with the Zala speed, while the Mutas, like the 11 Mutalists with the Scourges, like trying to go for the all those like attacking the Protoss main base and taking down the photon cannon, and Scourges are just taking down some Corsairs to buy some time, and Protoss just doesn't want to defend and go for the counterattack. So that can be one of the cases, or even the DT play. Like sometimes while you're doing something like a frontal attack, and then you drop a single Dark Templar or two, and then start harassing like how Bisu usually does at 10-minute mark of the game. And since Rain also from SK Telecom in the Caspa era, so probably Bisu, Rain, and other SK Telecom Protoss players did share some knowledge. So I have a feeling Rain probably have some like the Bisu's blood inside of his game while he's playing.
Yeah, so you know that he'll be very deadly with DTs, especially if there's some chaos going on. We're getting a look at the bracket. As you can see, both sides of the bracket absolutely nuts. And of course, Light waiting in the finals. And here we go. We get to confirm what the picks are. It's going to be Revolver, Vermeer, Butter, Allegro, Eclipse, Monopoly, and if it comes down to it, potentially Metaverse, which we've seen epic games on. Maybe not in this ASL, but in a lot of sponsored games, I have seen crazy PVZs.
Well, I have a feeling like the Metaverse is just kind of like the map that aren't used so much, like Lemon in the previous season. I want to see more games on Metaverse, but I guess the professional players do not like the map that much.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those weird maps that you want to avoid if you can, and only play on it if you have to. And we get a look at the stats here. Speaking of God tier Protoss versus Protoss win rate, look at that PvP for Rain. It's an 84% win rate. Absolutely crazy. I think it has to be the highest PvP rate. I don't remember anybody being this high. Even Snow or Stork, who were amazing in PvP in the past, they're nowhere near this type of win rate.
Yeah, so we can see some Rain's information here. That's a recent 10 games of him, and you can see season 8 of his third place match is included. That was against Action, 3-1, and we can see season 13 on a round of 24 Group C winners match against Action again. So I guess Action. I thought Action has a really nice win rate in ZVP, I guess, but he's really weak against Rain over here. And of course, that's Rain. After Action, that's Soki 3-2. A very good performance so far, I'm seeing.
Yeah, and we just saw that series, so obviously it's in the most recent 5 games. You know, I really thought Sulky was going to win that series after he went up 1-0, and in the second game, he was even supply for the majority of the game. It only really started to falter for Sulky once he built the mutas and was not able to get Templar kills. And I think that may be another key to success here versus Soma. If he can keep the muta count or keep the mutas from sniping his Templars, I mean, he should be good to go. And I think there it is. That's probably the top win rate ZVP, 80% for Soma. You called it.
Yeah. Queen also had that amazing win rate against Protoss. But like I said earlier, Queen played against Mini two times of a best of 7 series, 41-41, and Queen's ZVP win rate just went down a lot. But Soma still hasn't lost that many of stats here, but we are seeing he beat Snow 3-0 in Season 10, and one of the games against Flash is random in Season 10 of a semifinal. And unfortunately, in the next season, he got eliminated against Best. But that's the only 2 losses what I'm seeing. But the other games, Ruin, Best, and Bisu, playing such a nice performance so far. And that's the players' win rate of the top 3 players. Rain has the highest. Rain is the number 1. Bisu is second. Mini is third. And we are seeing Soma is the second out of the top 3. And Effort, I think Effort is one of those other players also really, really good at like a mining game up and playing super aggressively. And just playing around like a freestyle Zerg.
Oh yeah, for sure Effort is definitely one of those freestyle Zergs. Every time I think of Effort, what first comes to mind is all those Ling run-bys he did in previous Star Leagues and took down players like Flash. But of course, Effort is one of the most solid too. He has one of the best macro styles I've ever seen. And this says we have his rundown of ASL Season 13. He took down, what is that, Bishop in the round of 24, then Action, then Sorry, then Light, and then, of course, Soul Key 3-2.
Yeah, that is Rain.
That is correct.
Yeah, that is correct. And in Rain, I guess they're not gonna be. Okay, Rain will not be wearing his mask. I guess he wants to breathe nicely while he's playing. Some players definitely gonna be wearing the mask. I think Soma is probably the one gonna be wearing the mask because he doesn't feel that comfortable without the mask on. And we can see him plugging some earphones.
Well, in the slide that we saw just a moment ago, it was talking about the Protoss Emperor versus the Zerg Trendsetter. We know Soma is obviously a trendsetter in Zerg versus Terran. He has all types of openers. It's crazy how many different builds he's come up with. what type of trends has he come up with ZVP? The first that comes to mind is the like 9 hatch or 10 hatch opener, super fast hatchery. But is there anything else?
Well, there's a 9 hatchery build, starting off with the 9 hatchery build, and if the rush distance is really close, then you instantly you kind of want to decide whether you want to make about 16 Zergling or maybe just 8 Zergling into Mass Drone against Protoss, who's going for the Forge expand. But Rain is a type of player who kind of does lots of playstyle. He does even double 9 gate and the Proxy, sometimes a Forge expand, sometimes blind 12 Nexus, where I've been mentioning about in one of the best of 5 series against Soki, and he actually did it. And yeah, Soma probably have to think a lot what Rain is going to be doing for the next game or each game. And the first map, of course, it is going to be played on Revolver. And of course, Zerg players do not like about that map, and it looks like players are ready. We'll be moving to game number 1, Rain versus Soma on Revolver.
리볼버 SE에서 게임을 시작합니다.
Okay, in the top right, our Protoss King, it is Rain. And in the top left, the Zerg Trendsetter, it is Soma. And I think in the last cast when we saw Rain, we saw him go for the Proxy 2 gates on Revolver. So that's why I'm very happy to see this map first, because I'm wondering if he's going to mind game here. I predicted that he's going to open with the Forge expand or definitely a fast Nexus, not any type of shenanigans. But I wonder if what's going through his head is, hey, I know you saw me go for the Proxy gates. Probably not thinking I'm going to go for it again, but I am going to bust it out again. But it looks like this probe is not at a timing where it's going to be Proxy gates. Probably just going to be a typical Forge opener.
Yeah, we can see him putting down the pylon above the egg. That's not the usual place where you can see in PvZ, because a lot of Protoss professional players like to put the Forge at the bottom there, like how where he places pylon. But he can still make the SimCity putting the gateway above the pylon, but since he's doing the pylon scout, I don't feel like he's gonna be doing the gateway expand here. He will be first one finding out where Soma is at, and he saw the creep. Okay, he saw the creep. Okay, finally gets inside of Soma's base. Now Soma has to decide immediately, because he cannot put down the 12 hatchery immediately because of this early procrastination. And there's the 11 pull.
Yeah, and I love the delayed scout right there, because you saw that Soma wanted to go put down that 12 hatch, but coming in just a few seconds later forces Soma to float a little bit of money and then put down the pool. He cannot afford to risk going for a hatch first and getting denied, so nice move by Rain there. And this is going to be Nexus first, so this is the dream opener for him, skipping Forge, skipping gate, straight into the Nexus. And there's the Forge at an interesting position. I always find this map to be interesting wherever the Protoss player builds their Forge.
Oh, there's annoying probe constantly annoying one of the minerals where drone wants to mine, and we see Soma, since he saw that early probe has come into his base, so he should be just skipping all the Zergling production and just queuing up lots of drone. And I like this decision making, because he definitely knows with this early scout, it cannot be gateway expand no matter what, and we are seeing the gateway and the cannon both being warped.
Well, Soma's decided to take mid left. Now I know in Zerg versus Terran, you're more often than not taking the natural at another main, so bottom left in this particular scenario. I'm trying to think, when was the last time I saw a ZVP on Revolver that actually got to mid late game, and I think they still tend to just take the natural. So a curious third base location, of course. It's fine to take mid left, but just something to note that it's not going to be split map larva-esque style.
Well, now there's a Nexus being completed, and I still don't see the second pylon at Rain's main base or anywhere. So I have a feeling Rain might gonna put the... Well, I don't think he has put down any cybernetics core yet, so maybe he's rushing for the +1 core, +1 forge upgrade.
I think it's right next to his Nexus below the forge. I think it is, because there's another dot there next to the Nexus, but it could be that he is rushing the forge. Okay, it's a cannon and cybernetics. So cybernetics is basically done. Meanwhile, Soma hid a Hydrogen at his natural. So Rain right now has no idea what this is. And it's straight Citadel. I don't know what tipped him off, because he definitely has not seen it. Now he is going to see it. I wonder what he's thinking.
I really love this decision making, because here's something that I heard in the past. I think it was Hyuk. Like Hyuk was casting or doing some commentary or talking about Sox3 versus Rain on a KSL Season 3 or something like that. And of course, Overwatch map, I don't know if people still remember that map. Overwatch is the 2-player map. And whenever Protoss is doing the 12 Nexus and you're playing like a pull first into 3 hatchery like this, how Soma started off with, he cannot do anything. Like Zerg cannot do anything with your without lair tech and going for Hydralisk. So Rain, with skipping the Stargate, I think this is such a great decision making for him, because I mean he just has so much of a lead with the early stage of the game with the worker count and more income than usual. He can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he is going to catch that Overlord, and I didn't think he was going to be able to build a goon and catch it, but he does, and he saw that the second Overlord was moving towards the net, so it really looks like Soma's intending to bust this. The one thing I am worried about from Rain is that SimCity at his natural, not only does he have his cybernetics there, he has his Templar archive there, he built an additional pylon there, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, okay, well, if you get busted, where are you going to build all your cannons? Because he's kind of limited on space now. But it seems that actually Soma, this is going to be a fake, and he's just going to transition behind it.
So I guess it's better than not going for the pure mass Hydralisk, because I think one of the Overlord scouted Rain's main base and figured out there was no any of Stargate being built. So I guess decision making that Soma did it after making a couple of Hydralisks and just pretending that he's going for Hydralisk, and just instead of doing that, making lots of drone and just catching up with the economy here. But the DT is already out on the map.
Yeah, and I actually don't think there's going to be an Overlord being pumped out over there, but maybe. Okay, those eggs have been morphing for quite a while, and it's a perfect timing. But what's not perfect is the Hydra count. He's still going to have to pull these drones. Luckily, he instantly recognizes the threat, and he pulls back the drone, only taking one loss. Another DT to the top side, but great Overlord positioning. He's going to spot that too. Here comes that DT, and again, he's only going to get, well, he got 3 kills. I think that's pretty worth. And maybe he didn't recognize the DT going to the top side because he did not intercept it.
Yeah, it looks like the forge is not spinning anymore, so that means the +1 upgrade should be done for Rain. And these number of Hydralisks with the Overlord is incoming. I guess taking down one of the gateway would be definitely useful for Rain to definitely good for Soma to delay Rain's timing. And one of the Corsair doing some scout, picking off one of the Overlord, but I don't think he has confirmed the lair tech timing. I don't see any lair tech. No lair. Yeah, there's lair now, so he should be start thinking whether what Soma is doing.
I think Soma's in kind of big time trouble. He's now supply blocked. He doesn't have the lair tech. He's down 20 supply, which is okay at this point in the game in ZVP, but the Protoss already has +1, and he's going to have +1 armor actually pretty soon too. Like, he's been rushing those upgrades extremely fast, and there's no Sunkens anywhere. There's also that DT, which will pack a punch in any fight, and that's an open base at the mid left. However, there's a lot of Hydras in the back. SimCity, I would say, is pretty good. Actually, it's way better than I expected. Where's that DT though? I'm waiting to see where that Kate boy wants to head.
There is the DT picking up 2 drones there, but these number of Zealots has been sacrificed but at the same time, Rain has been keeping up the supply nicely, 71 still, but you do not want to be falling behind or even getting caught with the number of supply by Zerg, because Zerg unit is cheap and they only cost 1 supply each. So once Zerg has same amount of supply as Protoss, that means pretty much Soma has double amount of army than usual here. So yeah, Rain is finally pumping out more units, 85 and almost 90 supply here, but does he know about this Hydralisk at the 12 o'clock side?
I think he should, or he will see it just now. I'm kind of unsure if that was a good trade for Protoss. He dealt a little bit of damage, killed a few Hydras, but he lost like 7 Zealots, and he also lost the DT, which is not a cheap unit. It's still a 30 supply lead for him, so it seems like everything's good to go for Protoss right now. He's transitioning into his Templar. He's got like 4 all banking up energy, and they're on high ground, so there's no threat of them being killed. We know the lair is done, so I'm wondering if there's a spire anywhere. There it is halfway done.
Of course, they're constantly going for the scout to figure out what exactly Soma is doing, and there's the overlord speed is being done, and he has seen third gas has been mining for a long time. So whenever Zerg is already mining the third gas, okay, now there's the thing where I was talking about before the game starts. He has the beast's blood inside of his body, trying to go for the DT drop or something like a High Templar drop, but that's a great multitask. Oh, Shuttle needs to be careful.
Are you serious? I cannot believe that shuttle was actually able to get away. It was a move command from Soma, not able to intercept the shuttle in time. This backstab from 5 Zealots actually rack up a decent amount of drone kills, and the unloaded DT is now going to head to mid left. There is movement from Soma to the left side. Again, he's going to pick off this DT while it only gets 2 kills. So far, I would say the DTs have not gotten the damage that they were looking for, and it's now just a 25 supply lead for Rain, but Rain is going to take his 3rd base, and he's on that high ground platform. So it's going to be very hard for Zerg to attack into.
+1 is done for Soma for a long time. And we see Rain does have the +1 armor, so the upgrade of Zerg is going to be cancelling out. And I'm pretty sure Soma has been rushing for the +2 attack upgrade, but Rain has been... Oh, never mind. We are seeing some muta switches over here, but there are already lots of goons that are out on the map.
Yeah, tons of goons, tons of Templars, and this small 2 Zealot counterattack forces all of the mutas back, all of the Hydras back, and now Soma just lost 2 Overlords. There's the shuttle again. It did not get taken out. Remember that. And there's no vision up here. So there's going to be a drop in the main. There's going to be a huge attack in the center of the map. And it's going to just pick apart Soma potentially. But he's on top of it. He's sent mutas back to his main. So far, no kills from these 2 Zealots.
Well, now those guns and High Templars are moving forward, and Hydralisk, for not paying attention, gets lots of side storms on it. And now Soma just trying to gather up and collect all of his remaining Hydralisk, but the number of Hydralisk is just so lacking to stop this mass gun and High Templar, and these number of mutas he invested to switch over is just completely waste.
Wow, absolute domination from the Protoss King, Rain. I would say he just completely out-multitasked Soma there. He was all over the place. The backstabs were fantastic. And in the TVZ series between Soma and Rush, he was the one that was out multitasking Rush. So Soma's got to be feeling pretty bad about how that went. I mean, it was just complete outclass.
Yeah, so Rain did perform really, really well from game number 1. And everything just went right for him because of an early pylon scout. And scout, I mean, you find out your opponent in a 4-player map with the first scout. You just made the map into a 2-player map. So he was just getting lots of intel, what Soma was doing. Putting down the 12 Nexus after the pylon scout is just so good for him. And yeah, those are the 3 Zealot drop right now we are seeing. And units got distracted so much.
This is what you need to do in PvZ is just make it wild, draw the attention of the Zerg away from your big powerful army, and you can connect a storm like that. It hit what, 7 or 8 Hydras, just insane amounts of damage, and it just allowed him to power through so easily. And it wasn't like he was all in either. He had his third base coming up. In fact, it was complete and he was about to transfer. Absolutely perfect play from Rain there. But it is Revolver, so take that with a grain of salt. I know a lot of Zerg players hate this map for ZVP. I do not think Rain will have as much success on Vermeer, but remember, he already beat Sulky on Vermeer.
I don't remember that game, but it's kind of impressive that he won that game. And we'll be moving into commercial break. We'll see you in next 5 minutes.
All right, we are back. We've got our ASL event.
From game number 1 on Revolver, Rain vs Soma, we have seen Rain has been playing such aggressively with his belt and pressuring Soma, and he just pretty much snowballed and easily won the game number 1. And here's the ASL Season 13 event. People who are making the user ASL highlight scene on the user clip video on the ASL mainstream platform. You get the ASL card wallet. And verifying that you're watching the ASL. People who are getting who get selected of that event as a lottery, you'll get the ASL jersey shirt, and there's also the winner's prediction. People who get the prediction right, you get the ASL mini humidifier, and that's the Africa TV esports page, the winner prediction service. They're advertising of these events, the future event, and people can bet. They want a lot of community users to be active on the Africa TV esports page. And also, we have to hear about the final schedule. ASL Season 13 finals. It is going to be cast on April 9. That is Saturday, 6 p.m. They're going to be casting it on a Free Cup studio. And they will be selling the ticket on April 6th, 5 p.m. That's going to be Wednesday. People who are living in Korea, please check it out. And that's about it for the ASL event. And we'll be moving into game number 2 momentarily. And Rain is back here, making sure he got his earphones on here in his ears. His glasses on, putting up some noise cancellation headset.
Yeah, and I think just like in the previous series versus Sulky, I think that this map is going to be the key map of the series. And the reason I say that is if Rain wins here, he's up 2-0. It's going to be his next map pick, which is Butter. And we already saw him beat Sulky on Butter. So potentially he could be up 3-0 if he takes a win here. So I think it is imperative that Soma gets the win on Vermeer. But Rain, last time we saw him on Vermeer, he looked very solid, simply overrunning Sulky. I wanted to ask you in Revolver, where do you think it went wrong for Soma? Because to me, it didn't look like the Zealots did a lot of damage until the last two counterattacks with the couple Zealots.
Well, according to Hyuk's analysis, from what I hear, okay, but first of all, I think players are ready here. We'll be moving into this game number 2. Rain vs Soma on Vermeer.
범위어에서 게임을 시작합니다.
So in the upper right position, up 1-0, it is Rain. And in the bottom left, our Zerg player, it is Soma. Now you were mentioning Hyuk's analysis of the previous game.
According to Hyuk's analysis of Rain versus Soxtree in KSO, you're not allowed to go for Hydroden first against Nexus first because you're economically behind in the early stage of the game, and you're trying to go for the no layer tech into Hydra upgrade and then try to pressure your opponent with the Hydraless early stage of the game, like forcing them to put down Mass Cannon. It doesn't work out easily because Preuss just so ahead with the early stage of the game with the economy, and just they can put down the photon cannon, plus they can have all those technology ready, like advanced tech like on High Templar, the Templar Archive, and even get some Dark Templar out on the map really early. So Soma, so what I'm saying here is that Soma should have not gone for the Hydroden. He should have just gone for the pure layer tech there. But once again, Rain is just so lucky with scouting him first.
I was just thinking that too. It's like I always am curious of scout patterns. And think about Revolver last game. He went horizontal. Now he's going cross spawn. And in the Soul Key series, I think he even went vertical. So this guy, I just don't know how you can be so lucky. He's going to again force another pool first opener. You know what that means. That means this is going to be another Nexus. And now with that Hyuk knowledge about not being able to go Hydrogen first into a 12 Nexus, I'm curious if we're going to see the lair opener from Soma, or if he's going to try again to push a Hydrogen play into this 12 Nexus.
And from what I'm seeing from Soma here, that Soma does not know where Rain is at, so he wants to make sure Rain does not that Rain is not at 11 o'clock, so he can actually morph the third hatchery at the 7 o'clock, the third expansion, or really be doing third hatchery at the another starting location there. I don't think he's the type of Zerg player who likes to do a split map scenario like how Larva often does.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that he's going to go for a horizontal follow-up. I thought for sure he may go for a cross scout, diagonal scout, but instead he is just going to check top right, and he will find that Rain got pretty lucky with this diagonal scout. Now that cannon, okay, it is about halfway done, so it will complete in time before the lanes. And there we go, that is going to be the third hatch at the left side again. Like you said, not going to be split map. And there's the gas.
Yeah. Rain's gas is really fast, and he's also skipping the second pylon, so he's gonna be waiting for the Nexus to be completed. And in this type of scenario, like how Rain is doing, like skipping the second pylon like this with the 12 Nexus, then he can get his cybernetic score really fast at his natural. He's about to have that 200 mineral to put down. Okay, there's a 200 mineral just now disappeared. That must be the square box on what I'm seeing at the natural. That must be the cybernetic score. And look how fast the cybernetic score is. The game has gone for 3 minutes 35 seconds, and look how Soma does not have lair tech yet at all.
Yeah, and this is going to be basically identical openers to last game. Waiting to see. Okay, he did just spend the gas on a lair. Or no, he didn't. He got speed. So Soma is not getting that lair just yet. Of course, losing the probe is a huge deal because now Rain is in the dark. But based on how well it went for him last game with the Hydra opener, I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be feeling pretty confident in this game, even though he doesn't know exactly what's going on.
Here's what I'm seeing from Soma. He did not go for lair tech yet whatsoever, but he did put down the fourth hatchery really fast. I guess he just knows that he can't really deal against these 12 Nexus first, and he's just gonna be skipping lair tech once again and try to buy a lot of time with the early stage of the game with the metabolic boost with the Zergling upgrade. But that's the... Was that the Zealot? Yeah, that's the Zealot.
This looks like a bust. He's built 14 lings. Okay, he confirmed speed. He's probably wondering, like, why do you have speed so fast? And instantly you can see Rain's plug those holes. I don't know if a goon will block the entire wall right there. He needs to pull more oh, maybe he doesn't actually need to pull more probes. But that is a lot of links to build. And the Zealot gets into the main and see that this is just one on gas. That's it.
And the Zealot just popped out on time, and now Soma's the number of Zergling that he invested in the early stage of the game, they're just completely wasted. He can't really do anything about it. And is that the second Stargate he just made?
No, that's a second gateway in his natural, so he's gonna put on a lot of pressure with a lot of Zealots. It's just a single Stargate in his main, unless it was double gate, which I missed. I'm pretty sure that's just a single Stargate. Meanwhile, that Dragoon is not going to... I think it's stuck. I don't think he can actually go pick off that Overlord, so a bit unlucky for Rain there, and Overlord's going to get away with his life.
Yeah, lair tech still not done yet, and Rain is also preparing for the Stargate, just like the previous game here. So even with this early stage of the game, with the double 2 gate, with the setup I doing at the natural, and moving out in probably 7-minute mark with some Zealot and with the +1 attack being completed, Rain will be also getting more intel with the with the Corsair after the pressure here. And I want to see when Rain is exactly going to be moving up. And now we see from Soma, he's playing really passive. He wants to defend Rain's first attack But look at how fast that robotic facility is.
Yeah, a Robo halfway done, and Templar Archive halfway done, so it's going to be a fast DT follow-up, I imagine. First Corsair is out. I'll be honest, I was secretly hoping that it was going to be a Scout follow-up, because he's got a lot of DPS on the ground with the Zealots that should already have +1. And Scout, even if they don't deal a lot of damage to the ground, can ramp up a lot of kills in the air, and we know that there's no anti-air right now. Spire's not even close to finishing, so if Soma's not careful, he could easily get supply blocked, and that could be the killing move potentially for Rain, because these Zealots are fearsome.
Yeah, these number of Zerglings will be soaking up the Zealot hit of attacking when Rain is attacking this third expansion. They're not going to be useful to fight against Zealot, but in terms of defending, those Zealot can be so useful to soak up all the Zealot. But these number of Overlord is just dying randomly.
He found all. Look at this. He's supply blocked at the moment that his Spire finished, and he's still supply blocked. Finally, he becomes unsupply blocked. But this could be 3 or 4 Overlords dying. Rain, he of course doesn't know that, but he's feeling confident that, okay, potentially he might be supply blocked right now. He's taken down a 3rd Overlord. Now he's going to back off. But this was a really good opener from Rain so far. Even forces a drone pull because of the threat. Okay, it is Hydras, and it's just going to be Scourge. I thought maybe it was Mutas.
Yeah, we are seeing him unloading, loading up some units inside of the shuttle, but the Scourges are spread out on the map, and luckily those Scourge did not move to the top left side, so he won't be able to figure it out. More gateway being warped, and this is 70 supply versus 90. Soma is still doable in this game, but the pressure is so much for him to take care of each attack nicely here.
Yeah, but despite the pressure and despite the amount of links he built in the early game, you can see that his drone saturation is pretty good at the 3rd base. Cannot remember if it's great at the natural, but I imagine it is. So I don't think he needs any more drones right now. He does need to just ramp up his production, because Rain is just consistently in his face. And how does that Overlord miss that shuttle? There's also no vision in the main, so Soma has no idea that there's going to be potentially sneaky DTs appearing in his base momentarily. Oh, he's gonna ramp up so many kills.
Yeah, this attack, frontal attack, like I mentioned, like how Rain has Beast's Blood in this best of 7 series, and yeah, Soma does have the Obelisk bit, but he will be losing the Spire. Yeah, I think definitely he will be losing the Spire, so he's definitely not gonna be happy. Once again, Zealot does have the +1 armor at this 9-minute 40-second long of the game, and they're still buying some time. More gateway should be thrown down at Rain's main base, so that must be total maximum 8 gateway there.
Yeah, and still the DTs are not cleaned up. They are splitting up, and he may be able to rack up a couple more kills. Meanwhile, it is pure Zealot man mixed in with maybe like 1 Templar or 2 Templars, and that's it. Once the goons start popping out, though, this is going to be an amazing army and really good control on the Sayers. Take down a Scourge, and all of a sudden, well, actually, look at supply. Soma's done a good job to maintain his supply despite taking that amount of damage. It's 100 to about 130. But does he have enough Hydras? There's no Mutas, there's no Lurkers.
Yeah, that is definitely true, and that's a lot of High Templars are at the behind. But Soma will be picking up one of the High Templar at the left one, but the second High Templar was about to cast a spell, but did not cast. These storms are just pretty much eating up lots of Hydralisks, and look at that. Drone drill is fantastic, but it's just too many.
The Hydras may in the end up cleaning it up, but the Sayers racked up a bunch of Overlord kills again, and Soma's going to be supply blocked again. And behind this, Rain's just taking a 3rd Nexus. This looks basically the same, almost identical to the first game. The DTs are everywhere, the counterattacks are everywhere, and another 3rd base going down, and he's in a great position. His +1 armor should be done too. He got that so fast. And he's about to pump out a lot of goons. So Rain again in a prime position to take this game. He even supply blocked him again, and he's going to kill 2 more Overlords.
well, if you just cover player's name with your hand, you won't be believing this is Rain's playstyle right now, because I mean, when like if a Protoss fans out there like thinking about who's the good Protoss nowadays, then they probably will be answering like Bisu is one of them, and probably like Mini is the second, and so on. But who would have thought like Rain is just being so dominant, like kind of pressuring so much.
Yeah, and he just got back really from a huge break, and already he's taking on and smashing arguably the best Zerg right now. Finally, we see a Lurker morph, but it's only one, and their Hydras in the back are just getting blanketed by Storm. The Observer control is fantastic too. He's not just moving it to the bottom side of the map, he's repositioning it fantastically. Maybe these Zealots will eventually get cleaned up, but again, damage is done. And look, another stream of units moving to the left side. Okay, those Templars don't have Storm available, so these units may eventually be killed off. But this was another good attack. And where are the Sayers? They're racking up more and more Overlord kills.
Yeah, they're just constantly picking more of the Overlord left and right. And Hydralisk just pretty much have to defend every single location. I mean, that's another 8 Zealot attacking the 3rd expansion. And this game is just starting to go wrong really, it's just too much. I mean, something just went wrong so badly for Soma, and he just cannot recover anymore.
And look at this, he's still controlling the Observer. He's got a shuttle on the left side while there's still chaos on the left side with the Zealots. The Sayers have supply blocked him for about the 5th time. That's an amazing Storm.
Wow.
Hits so many drones, takes down about 10 of them. DT in the main, there's no Overlord, so this is a shutdown main again. This is one of the best games in terms of multitask I've ever seen. Rain is just picking apart Soma. It's not even close. I'm just wondering, is Soma ever going to not be in the red in supply? I mean, he's just permanently in the red. Another fantastic Storm.
Yeah, I just lost my word. I don't know where I can like help have some hope for Zerg here, because I mean, the amount of worker count that Soma lost in this game number 2, and how much of Rain has with the resource like the bank, and how many bases he's actually being mined from, and also having a +2 upgrade being done at this 40-minute 30-minute mark of the game is just so much. And another shuttle coming in, and do you have enough energy? Yes, you do. And tons of drone, and including the larvae even died.
He just instantly taps out after that, and this is just brutal. What a madman. Rain, he's everywhere. I don't even think he built an overwhelming amount of Corsairs. It was like 5 the entirety of the game. They just never died, and they killed so many Overlords. And even though I think Soma's follow-up to his Lings was fine with the 4 or 5 hatch, he could just never stabilize at any point. He could never get anything going, and it was all Rain all day long. And now he's up 2-0. And it's gonna be his map pick next.
Yeah, after watching those games, like how Rain has been playing, and Soma decided not to go for the lair tech. Soma's stubborn. Like, yeah, I guess having a macro hatchery does help you to have lots of drone in the early stage of the game. But I guess I have to take Hyuk's advice there, that Hyuk said. I mean, Hyuk was in SK Telecom in the past, so of course they probably played each other like more than 1,000 game, have lots of experience, and how Zerg should be playing against this kind of this type of game scenario. So I think I just have to agree with who was it, Hyuk's opinion. Like, you cannot play no lair Hydra Den against Nexus first follow up.
Yeah, and this is
just
where
doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's just not working. And the aggressive opener with the Lings didn't work either. So I think Soma's obligated to just play lair play now, especially if it's going to be the Nexus first. And the DT drop is where the downfall all started. He gets 10 drone kills, and then he's just literally everywhere the entirety of the game afterwards. Just perfection today. And all you Rain fans, I think you should be excited because he's definitely back. I mean, this is a massacre so far, and he's already taken down Sulky, another strong Zerg. So he's looking primed to potentially get into the finals versus Light.
And we are seeing the screen commentators. I don't think they showed Hot 6 banner yet, but yeah, let's talk more about game number 2. I mean, what other way could have made him like having a better position for Soma to like keep up the game if he's not getting the lair tag? Because one of the opportunity I can think of would be like super fast lurker, like how Gemo was doing, like, because Gemo is the type of Zerg player, he does like to skip range upgrade and get the lurker upgrade first, and then while you're moving out with your lurkers, you start preparing for the range upgrade. And when you're starting to contain Protoss, your range upgrade is like 80%, 90% done, and you, as soon as like you wait a little bit more, then you have the range upgrade done. So I mean, Gemo showed us like he took down one of the strong Protoss like Snow in the round of 24, but we don't see Soma is doing that kind of playstyle yet.
Yeah, I was also thinking about the lurkers because we talked about it in the Soul Key series. We were really expecting to see the lurker contain, and we never did. And I thought, okay, well, maybe Soma will pull it out. And I think it could have worked out very well, because if you think about what the army comp was for Rain in Vermeer, it was almost pure Zealot for the entirety of the game. Like, he had mostly Zealot, maybe a couple Templars, and one Goon. I think it was actually just one Goon. Like, his comp would have easily gotten eaten up by lurkers. So I think we may see lurkers in the third game. I'm hoping we see it, because so far, Rain's just decimating him. He's picking him apart, and also Rain shut down Mutaplay versus Sulky. So I really do hope we see lurkers.
And of course, you mentioned the third map is Butter. So, of course, I mean, first 2 games were 4-player maps, but it was so unfortunate for Soma that he had to play those 4-player map like 2-player map, because Rain just kept constantly doing the pylon scout and, oh, I find you first in the 4-player map. Okay, this is now a 2-player map. I'll be going for 12 Nexus again. And of course, the Butter map chosen by Rain. He's going to be feeling so confident. And there's one thing that I have to mention is whenever the defense tower is shooting from, or including the unit, like whenever the things are getting or shooting from top to bottom, it kind of feels like it shoots slightly longer than the usual. Like, I know you're a Terran player, you probably have this some like Rex expansion sometimes, and whenever you are on the top position, top left side, or maybe top right side, your bunker is shooting from top to bottom, then sometimes you can see Protoss players or even other races having some difficulty calculating the range and starting to hurt your bunker. Have you ever noticed about it?
Yeah, I mean, I mostly notice it when I face a Nexus, and it, like, I build a bunker far away, and it actually still shoots the Nexus. I'm like, whoa, I didn't realize a bunker had that range.
Right. So, of course, the Butter is one of the map. It might matter for Soma if Soma spawns at bottom right at the 5 o'clock. Then of course Rain will be spawning at the 1 o'clock side. So his photon cannon is gonna at the top side, shooting from the top to bottom. So probably much easier for him to defend any sort of like a Hydra Dam first and pressure. Like even like a Hydra that's all in, probably not gonna be working out so well easily.
That's true, but what instantly came to mind was the SimCity that Rain had in both of his games. He built his Cybernetics at his NAT both the times. He built his Templar Archive at his NAT on Revolver. He does need to, if a Hydra Den is to come, or Hydra push is to come to fruition, he does need to be careful to actually have area to build his cannons, because so far he's kind of been putting a lot of stuff there that aren't cannons. But I don't think there's really any threat of a Hydra push, because he's just shutting down all the aggressive play. I think Soma is kind of obligated to go lair. But let's see. We're about to get into Game 3. Our players are setting up, I think. And game 3 is going to be Butter, as you mentioned. Now, it's a 2-player map. Protoss can scout first. What do you think opener is going to be from Soma? Does it have to be Overpool? Oh, well, we'll skip that for now. Players are ready. Let's get into game 3. Rain is up 2-0.
버터에서 게임을 시작합니다.
In the top right, absolutely crushing it today, it is Rain. And in the bottom right, it is Soma. And 2-player maps. Is Zerg obligated to go pool first? I think I remember Sulky going 9 hatch on Butter, if I remember correctly.
Well, I wonder. I wonder if it's still viable to use it, because I mean, Protoss always gonna be find you first with the Pylon Scout, and whether they want to do the Forge expand or even Nexus first or whatsoever. You can even do the 9 pull first, but if you're doing the 9 pull and opponent does the Pylon Scout, then of course Rain definitely will be putting down like 11 Forge or 12 Forge and defend easily. And here it is, we're seeing him doing the Pylon Scout once again, and Soma is queuing up the Overlord, so this is not going to be the 9 pull opening from him.
Yep, and instantly I'm looking at scout pattern of that Overlord. It's a 2-player map. You know where the guy is. I don't think anybody would really take this scout pattern, but it's genius because he wants to know when the probe comes in. And he's going to continue to move. Actually, he's just going to leave it there because he wants to know, okay, am I going to get pylon blocked or not? If I'm not, then I might build a hatchery. And is he just barely going to lose vision? He might scan.
Oh, he did lose.
So he's going to try and hatch first, but he can't because he's about to get blocked. He's going to feel like, where the hell did this come from? Oh, wow, he missed it.
Well, I guess the Rain is just being somewhat kind here that, hey, since you have done the pull first 2 times in a row, I'll let you have some opportunity. I'll let you to do 12 hatchery first, but I'm gonna be still doing the Pylon Scout into 12 Nexus or 13 Nexus, yeah, 13 Nexus whatsoever. And well, let's see how the game goes.
Yep, so this time around, Soma not going to be denied. Maybe Rain was feeling a little bad for him. We'll give him a bit of a chance here, not have to face the 12 Nexus with the 12 pool. But that was a perfect probe scout, and I really felt bad for Soma seeing that Overlord just barely miss it. Now, behind this is going to be a straight gate opener, so the Cybernetics is going to be even faster than last game. I think Probe got the first shot off. You got to be careful. Oh, there we go. Finally a win on the board for Soma.
Yeah, we are seeing the pull is about to be done, and Soma is not queuing up more drone. So that means he's about to make 8 Zerglings at a time. But we are seeing another drone being sent out at the bottom left. Extractor just now started at 2 minutes 54 seconds. So judging by of this gas timing, you can immediately tell, oh, this has to be 3 hatch opening. And Rain will be figuring out later on once those eggs are starting to have Zergling getting popped out from the eggs.
Yep, and it is going to be a second pylon above his gas. And actually, you could see that the Nexus completed just shortly after, so it could have been a bit of a waste of the 100 minerals. Maybe, potentially, we'll see how that's going to unfold. Oh, never mind. Not a waste because he's intending to build a second gateway there. So sneaky move, even though he got up the fast gate and you would think it's going to be Cybernetics, it's actually going to be a lot of Zealots.
Well, I actually have seen this type of playstyle before in the past. I think it was in the Caspar era where Mini was doing something like no gas into 2 gate first with this 2 base playstyle, and you're just constantly pressuring your opponent with this pure non-speed without the +1 attack, and just kind of forcing Soma to make lots of Zergling in the early stage, and you just catch up with the economy and putting down this double gas really fast. And yeah, he does see one Zealot just got out of the map, but he did not see the second Zealot. So those two Zealot probably will buy some time at the 6 o'clock expansion.
Well, I was thinking that this attack may catch Soma off guard, but getting into the main and seeing there was no gas, now he knows for sure something weird is going on. A bunch of Lings were just produced. He's going to be able to intercept these Zealots, and this sneaky second gate I don't think is going to be as successful as Rain was anticipating. Here come the first two Zealots, already intercepted by 5 Lings. That top Zealot is already down into the health. So he's got to be careful not to lose these so quick.
Yeah, the number of Zerglings that he invested. I don't think he has to realize of these Protoss playstyle right now Rain is doing. He's just still making 2 Zealot at a time, and these 2 Zergling at the 6 o'clock, still buying a lot of time. And once he just standing behind of the mineral line, then those 3 Zealots will be just staying alive for like another 5 minutes or so.
Yep, he's getting into the sweet spot. The Lings barely miss the Zealots, and they are going to get away with their lives. That natural is so open. Okay, now Soma spots the Lings, or spots the Zealots, and now he's going to overwhelm these 2 Zealots easily. But really good stutter step micro, but not able to get any actual kills. And that might have been a misstep, because now these 3 Zealots are caught, and this attack really did not work. But I'm looking at supply, still in favor of Rain, of course. But not a lot of damage so far done.
The Spartak is already on the way, but we still do not see any Spartak being done. And more drone being morphed. And good to see this time that he did not go for Hydra then. So Soma should be feeling confident about this game.
Yeah, the Sayers aren't out yet. The Spire's going to be lining up with the Sayer timing pretty much perfectly, so Overlords are not on the menu, at least not for now. And he's also obligated to build a few cannons, so far this game, Soma's going into mid-game in a really, really good spot. His 4th hatch was done really quickly too, so he has a lot of extra larvae that he wouldn't normally have. Good defense from Soma, and he's definitely looking like he's going to be in much better shape going into mid-game, but still, that's a lot of Zealots.
Since he has skipped the simulator in the early stage of the game, of course he won't be having that like 7-minute Zealot speed or whatsoever. But the number of Zealot count is really, really large. I mean, Soma, in order to stop this number of Zealot like in the early stage of the game, and you don't want to queue up more Zergling, then you want to switch over to Muta later on. And those Zergling needs to get as much of the information he can get, and also they have to be used before the plus 1 attack is done. Okay, he did miss those 6 Zealot moving out to the right side. And I guess maybe he sensed something?
Yeah, he may have seen something, but here comes 6 Zealots moving into these Zerglings. They don't have +1 weapon yet, so not going to trade. Oh, now +1 kicks in, but Hydras are here to save the day. Maybe not, though. It's only 4, so he trades like 15 Lings. For just a single Zealot. He damaged a couple other Zealots, but Preuss is going to get away with these Zealots for now. He's probably going to poke into this 3rd base and see, oh, okay, I actually can't attack here and not commit. Yeah, exactly the case.
Well, we can see from Rain, I mean, he's just has been collecting the number of Corsair. Maybe he just wants to see whether Soma is making the counter Muta switch or whatsoever. And these Zealots just moving left and right to figure out whether Soma has put down another macro hatchery at the 3rd expansion, but he doesn't have it yet. And yeah, now I guess we are gonna be slowly moving into the late games, mid game into the late game scenario. Finally, we see the robotic facility going up, and Soma still does not have the 3rd extractor. Once the Zerg player started to put down the 3rd extractor, it's a sign that you must know as a Protoss that, oh, this is going to be the lurker switch. Oh, this is going to be the Muta switch.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I was wondering, okay, when's the lurker switch going to happen? But without that extra gas, as you mentioned, it's going to be a bit of time before that happens. Robo just started, or is about halfway done for Rain. Big gateway flood coming in. He's up to like 8 gates now. His Templars are banking up the energy, and he does have a sneaky DT barely avoiding the Overlord. Okay, now just barely in sight, but you could see Soma's camera didn't notice it. I don't know how Rain's units just barely avoid these Overlords, but they consistently are able to. Soma still has Hydra's 4 defense at his third base, so this DT shouldn't do much damage. And again, he pokes in and backs off, and Soma didn't notice.
Yeah, those Zealot and DT. DT is pretty much getting a lot of information there. Once the big army battle and kind of forcing Soma to draw the attention at the other screen, that DT is gonna be used most likely. And I don't think Soma has recognized about the DT yet.
No, it seemed like he did not notice. Maybe he did for a second, but Zealot confirms the, what is that, the 7th hatch, I think, going at mid-right. So it's 4 base Zerg powering up. This time around, Soma within 15 supply. And this time around, it's not Zealot Man. This is going to be a more balanced comp. You can see that a lot of goons are already coming out. And that's the 6th and 7th hatchery going up on the right side. A lot of minerals being spent into these hatcheries. And okay, there we go. Finally, we see the lurkers.
Okay, lurker switch, but defensive lurker placement. Maybe Soma is preparing for the triple evolution chamber into hive tech right now. I would like to see more like what kind of other buildings actually Soma has in this type of game scenario, because you don't normally just defend like how TVP, like this is PvZ, but he's just playing like TVP. Like you have Siege Tank like defending your expansion and just drawing the map in half now.
Yeah, and I actually like what he's doing here. I hope we do get to see the Hive play with the triple evolution chamber as you talked about, because 4th base looks like you're not really going to ever break it. There's high ground there. You got lurkers there, going to be able to put up a good SimCity, a bunch of Sunkens if necessary. And the 3rd base looks like it's pretty safe too. Yep, there it is. There's the Hive, or the Queen's Nest, I mean. So it is going to be Hive.
And the number of a goon count is really high for the Rain here. He's just pretty much converting all those Vespin gas for mess Hydralus, mess goons against for the Hydralus. And yeah, Soma is playing really well here, going for the late game switch, but Protoss is about to attack. Does have some opportunity.
Protoss still has those goons which have big range, and Storm obviously can hit the lurkers even when they're burrowed. So he attempts to poke up, but recognizes that, okay, maybe I won't have as much success here as I think I could have. So he's going to back off for now, but Rain's still in a good position. He's got his 3rd base up and running, big probe transfer too, and you can see he just sent his camera to top left, so potentially going to be taking the 4th base.
Yes, Soma playing differently of this game number 3, so which is nice to see from him. But I mean, you cannot just let Protoss to have this death ball. I mean, it's just slowly getting bigger and bigger, and he's about to get maxed out.
Well, we may have that big fight happening right now. It's 185 supply for Rain, 150 for Soma. Storm's hit 2 lurkers. Really well done right there. There's so many Hydras and so many lurkers, though. I don't know if Rain will be able to push through here. He is going to back off. I think that's a smart move. That looks like a massive lurker Hydra concave, and it kind of defends both the natural and the 3rd base. So I think it is a smart move to just turn around for now. But that's going to give Soma time to get the Hive up, and we know that Hive has so many powerful upgrades: Adrenaline, Plague, Dark Swarm, just to name a few.
And these lurkers are still buying a lot of time before the Adrenaline upgrade is done. But now Rain needs to be a bit careful with his decision making here, because some of the army are rotated to the top left, and now they're about to attack it on both sides, attacking in the front, attacking from the back, and now Rain is a little bit in trouble, but he does trade Zerg army nicely there. Plus the armor is done.
That went way better than I thought. I thought that those Hydras and Lurkers were going to catch those 7 Templars, but instead they're able to get away with their lives. Those are hold position Lurkers. You don't see that often in ZVP. Okay, he's going to eat these Zealots up, so nice bait right there from Soma, but there's still action on the other side of the map. A couple of Templars end up falling to a handful of Hydras. Supplies are still 160 to 140. Rain may even cancel this hatchery, because that's 3 Zealots dealing out a lot of damage, and he does cancel the hatchery. So the hold position Lurkers actually not getting the kills that they were expecting to get.
And now we can see Rain is slowly saturating his 4th expansion. This is kind of like a 4-base Zerg versus 4-base Protoss, and of course when the players have same amount of money, which is not good for Zerg, because Zerg always wants to have extra mineral, extra bases to fight back against Protoss army. And there was a nice trade there, and he's trying to go for the pressure.
Yeah, that was a really good catch right there from Soma. I thought attacking uphill into Storm wouldn't work out for him, but he ends up catching all of the army, and he killed, I think, 5 Templars. Now he's on the move to put pressure onto Protoss. He's got high ground, he's got the hive tech, he's got supply lead, actually, and here he comes. The Lurkers are moving into position. They get on top of the majority of the Zealots and even a handful of goons. But was this an overstep? The Storm hits a lot of the Lurkers, but supplies are still even for both players, and it's soon to be 5-base Zerg.
Yeah, these Observer needs to be very careful. Try to break the high ground Lurker, but since he lost the Observer, he probably has to wait another 25 seconds or so to get the single Observer out of the map. And now High Templars are getting sniped. Lurkers and Hydralisks are moving forward, and I find him playing super aggressive here because +2 attack is done for Rain here. These number of Zergling and Hydralisks without the Adrenaline upgrade, they're just not that useful.
He needs Archons or something. Like, there's just so much Zerg, absolutely so much Zerg. Those are fantastic Storms hitting a lot of the Zerglings, but it's just endless. It's just coming and coming and coming. More Lurkers and are setting up. They've taken down so many Templars now. There's only 4 left, and I think they've blown all their energy. Supplies have plummeted for both players. They're probably going to reset here, but really good defense from Rain. He ends up managing to clean up all the Lings and Lurkers, and he can start thinking about taking mid left. Oh no, he's not spending that second forge, so we don't know if that's going to be +3 armor, if that's going to be +2 weapon.
That is true, and we can see Soma is somehow keeping up the game in here because he started off with the lair attack, and with the mass Zergling in the early stage did buy a lot of time, and now yeah, these Hydralisks, I mean, well, I guess now he's bringing all of his reinforcement. I guess he was just kind of busy with the hawking. And yeah, Rain kind of wants to stall the position where he's kind of holding off the center here, so he can easily move left and right. But now all those high ground is given.
Yeah, Protoss is in big time trouble right now. His comp is not great. His Archons get melted because they have no shields. +2 weapon just kicked in, which is good for him, but the problem is this is Adrenaline Zerglings. He really needs +3 so he can one-shot Lings with his Archons, and we know that +2 just completed, so even if he started it right now, that's 3.5 minutes where Zerglings are just going to absolutely obliterate Archons in any straight-up engagement. Meanwhile, Rain is posturing to take a 5th base. Supplies are still even, but Zerg's comp, I think, is favorable right here, and he has map advantage. Another big engagement on the high ground. Storms are not the greatest, and Soma is going to push this back.
Well, I kind of like how he's still using those high temper nicely like that, because he's earning all those benefit from there. I mean, Storms are pretty much free every time whenever you have the mana. And what's going on here? I guess he right-clicked on a minimap and army kinda has a difficult time coming in and climbing up, and now this is once again high ground. 6 lurkers, but look how nicely Rain is picking up those lurkers, and not that many of the zealots has gotten melted, and those lurkers are kind of stacked and now getting stormed one by one.
Yeah, really good engagement right there. I thought this was going to be suicide for Rain. Now his units are starting to fall, but Soma actually had a little bit of a weaker trade there, and so Rain is going to clean this up, but he still doesn't have his 5th base. That probe at the left side ended up dying, so he's going to need to send another one over there. Again, his double forge has not been spinning. It's just a single upgrade coming, and he desperately needs to get his armor and shields upgrades, because I saw the Zerglings already had 1-1 upgrades. Now the Hydras have 3-2 upgrades, so they are hitting like a truck. And if he falls behind farther and farther in the upgrade count, eventually, I think once Dark Swarm and Plague starts coming out, eventually Protoss could get overrun.
Well, I wasn't expecting of Rain producing some reroute on the map, but this is like the late game potential where like nice upgrade of the Zergling, just moving left and right and buy a lot of time, and it's just so useful. And now Rain, I guess he wants to go to the right side of the map and then maybe somehow surround those lurker contain that he's getting at the center line of the map.
Oh, that's a good storm, but he's going to take a lot of damage to his own zealots, and he may even lose this Archon that's being morphed. We see that Soma has even taken one of the most important bases. It's mid-left. He already has it up and running, and in any 2-player map, if you can take one of the contested center positions, that's a fantastic spot for you. But now we've got a really strong Archon count. We've got Reaver support. There's still no Dark Swarm anywhere. Okay, there finally we have the first Defiler, and he's looking for a juicy Plague.
And that's the shuttle with the speed. With probably double Reaver inside of the game. I mean, I haven't seen that many of Reaver playstyle against the Zerg. And he's about to do it. And this 4th expansion is not vulnerable yet because the Sunken Colony is soaking up a lot of it. But now Reaver's unloaded, blowing up all those lurker, and I think Rain has some nice position here.
He's got a good position, but is the comp strong enough? Is there enough actual stuff here? For now, the Archon is holding the front. Reavers have gotten tackled by the lurkers. The first one goes down. Archons are still doing work. Reinforcements coming in from Rain, though. He's still got a massive supply lead, but we know that lurkers are so strong under Dark Swarm. A big connection from a Reaver shot there takes down one of the lurkers. Okay, did Rain just pick him apart? Somehow,
I think he did.
Soma's army comp is not very fearsome right now.
Well, I think...
What?
I think he just broke that line, and now all of his army is starting to attack the natural, and now if he loses the Hydra Den and loses all those 3 hatchery at the natural, those macro hatchery that he lost, and he just has to remake it, and Rain is just absolutely beast.
Well, I don't know. It looks like he's breaking through right now. There's still a 40 supply lead for him, but lurkers are doing a lot of damage. Oh no, a big drone transfer. Can't lose drones right here. Remember the Archons? Oh, they do have +3 now, which is a huge power spike. He can one-shot the Lings. Is obviously huge since all Soma can build right now are Lings. But Hydras and lurkers morphing in the back, trying to buy time. More units streaming out from Rain, though. Can't lose those Templars. There's 5 of them right there. They're so crucial for this army. He loses his Observer. Does he have another Observer? The answer is no. He has no Observer.
I mean, even without the Observer, I mean, I'm just shocked like how strong Rain is, like playing against Zerg here, and those 3-2 upgrade of Protoss army, definitely strong. Those Zerglings are trying to defend at the main, but I think this is going to be not going to be looking great.
He knows the threat. He focuses. Oh, look at that Archon on hold position with storms behind it. How do you break that, Scanis? That's just impossible. He takes down the pool. The Hydrogen was rebuilt in the main, so that could potentially get taken down. A storm drop at mid left. It knocks down so many drones, And this game that looked like it was going to be so good for Soma, all of a sudden in an instant with a concentrated attack, Rain took down the main. He may lose mid right, but he's got a 50 supply lead now, and he just shut down all of the econ from Soma.
Completely different. Well, not completely different than Beast's playstyle, but he's just really brilliant with this gameplay style, and Soma is just struggling a lot here.
Well, this army may be stuck. It is surrounded by a decent amount of lurkers and a lot of lings. The 4th base and 3rd base are both about to mine out at the same time for Rain, so he desperately needs to get a 5th base up and running. Meanwhile, Soma still has 3 bases technically. He's only efficiently mining on maybe 1, but he is able to escort the majority of this army out. Maybe he loses a couple of Templars here, but at least he gets all of the Archons out. Okay, now this could be a mistake. There's a lot of Sunkens here. Yeah, he smartly turns around, and he is just going to back off. He desperately needs to get that 5th base though up. He's about to be not mining.
Yeah, I think Rain should be feeling confident to put another Nexus down, but I guess those like random lurkers out on the map probably delaying Rain's 3rd expansion. Or I should say the 5th expansion, where can be technically like a 3 base mining for him. And yeah, this is not looking great for Soma.
Yeah, he lost his Defiler, and I didn't see a single Plague all day long, so he may not even have that upgrade. We know that he lost the Defiler Mound and the Hive now. Okay, Rain's going to push in here, but the majority of his army are Zealots. This could be a mistake. Yeah, he's going to back off. There's so many lurkers actually already set up, and Soma is starting to close the gap. It's now just 30 supply gap, and still no 5th base for Rain. Look at those patches. None at mid right, so 3rd base mined out. Rain's 4th base, I think that's also gone. He's running out of steam. Meanwhile, Soma seems to have stabilized on his 3 bases.
Yeah, there's something Rain. I guess he can't really attack anymore because he really wants to save his 5th Nexus. He's building pylon. Shuttle once again going in.
Whatever's in there, he cannot afford to lose. And Soma recognizes that Rain's probably mined out, so he moves into a position to defend it. That's a good storm, and he will lose 1 Templar, 2 Templars. These Templars are so expensive because actually Rain is very gas starved. His gas is only going up almost like 10. I mean, I guess there's only 1 efficiently mining gas base. Another good storm right there. But he cannot afford to lose these Templars. We have another big engagement on the high ground again. Lurker's going to be doing a lot of work.
Those Hydralists are trying to buy some time, but Goons and Archons are just soaking up all those attack, and now it just recovers with the shield regeneration, and now Soma is just trying. He knows he needs to take down Rain's 5th Nexus. He's just committing so hard, but it's just not working out so well.
He got the ob. I saw it fall. I don't see a second ob anywhere, but look at supplies now scan. It's a 15 supply lead only for Rain, and he's really only mining on 1 base. And like I said, Soma's still on 2 or 3 base mining. The Reaver may end up falling to these Hydras, and they do. Again, there's not a lot of gas for Rain, or gas heavy or gas intensive units here. I mean, there's 4 or 5 Archons, but there's no more Templars, no more Storm. The Reavers are doing a fantastic job shelling down these Hydras and Lurkers. The shuttle almost gets picked off, but it doesn't. But still, the Lurkers are dishing out a lot of damage. That's a really long Scarab shot. Somehow it connects. Oh, he loses the Reaver, and he might lose the shuttle. And somehow, Soma's bringing it back. He knows that Rain is desperate for this 5th base.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's done it.
Yeah, I think Rain. Well, I don't know how else can I say, but I mean, the Reaver harassment or busting your opponent with the Reaver combination is definitely great, but oh, the high ground lurkers is so annoying to see from.
Yeah, and there's just no support for the Archons. Okay, those were fantastic storms, but it doesn't matter because there's no more actual units, and this is it. Soma did it. Somehow a miracle has happened, and Soma, after losing his main, his natural, he overcomes the non-stop onslaught of rain, and he's going to take a point in the series.
Yeah, so I guess that's the solution. If you're facing the 12 Nexus, you don't want to start off with the Hydroden, and I'm glad to hear Soma. We're glad to hear that Soma did not go for no lair tech into Hydroden and pressuring your opponent. And things just went right for Soma that game, because Rain was playing something different than usual, because he put down the second gate at the natural, and pretty much lying to his opponent that he wasn't going for Corsair build in the early stage of the game.
Yeah, but what a recovery from Soma. After losing his main and his pool and his Hydrogen, I thought, oh my god, is Rain really going to do it here? He's going to go up 3-0. It's almost inconceivable to make a reverse sweep in a best of 7. But Soma, he did it. He looked fantastic this game, and this time, and now he finally gets some momentum on his side, and it's going to be his map pick, as you can see. 4th map is going to be Allegro. We're going to be going into a break, and then we'll be back with that. Oh, no, we're not. We got the Hot 6, of course.
So we got the Hot 6 commercial here. And that game number 2 was just pretty much chaotic everywhere. I mean,
yeah,
the storm drop, I mean, everywhere, like, you're fighting at the right side, you're fighting at the left side, storm drop here and there, and then that game was just epic to me.
Yeah, it certainly was. I was so worried for Rain, seeing his upgrades kind of lacking versus what Zerg had, and then we just saw at one point Zerg kicked in 3-2 when Protoss was still at 2-2. I was thinking to myself, okay, how do you ever break a Zerg? But that one concentrated attack Rain made, it just caught Soma off guard. He had so many lurkers all over the map, but he was too spread out, and I think that's what allowed Rain to actually bust through the Nat and the main. But Soma with great recovery there, even recovering after losing the main and Nat, and also all those storm drops, still somehow stabilizing. Very, very impressive play from him.
Yeah, so that was a very good potential to see from Soma's play. And since the map, the 4th map is chosen by Soma and choosing Allegro. Allegro is one of the map is so difficult to play for Protoss. From what I heard, like PBT is hard, PBZ is somewhat hard, because if you get lurker contained on Allegro, I heard it's really, really hard to break, because it just seems so small. I mean, Protoss just cannot move out until the observer is out on the map, plus the gun range upgrade is done, so that takes about like 10-minute long of the game to 12-minute long of the game. And if Soma just trying to do the lurker contain in the early stage of the game, like how Gamma did it against like 9-minute contain or 10-minute contain, then I wonder how Rain will be like bringing up another solution to play against those type of play style.
Yeah, I also wonder. So far, we haven't seen him have any issue getting out onto the map. It's funny to hear you hear that Zerg lurker contains are hard on Allegro, because Allegro, just simply looking at the map, it looks like one of the most open maps we have. Like, there's a lot of area to run around. But yeah, it's gonna be Soma's map pick. Is this a map that you can split? Is it? Well,
I think you can split the map if you want, but most of the Zerg player, they kinda just stay on a lair tech for the long time, and just, you know, like the typical playstyle, how like hero makes like 60 to 70 worker and then just keeps spamming SH and making like thousands of hydras every time. Maybe you can see that kind of playstyle too.
Yeah, and I know Allegro, the mineral only, obviously no gas, so it's going to be much harder for Rain to build those heavy tech units unless he can get a 4th base easily, which is pretty far in Allegro. So it may be tough for Rain going into mid game. We are going into a break. We'll be back in just a second. We are back, and we're going to be getting into Game 4 momentarily. Finally, Soma was able to find a victory, just barely, on Butter. So he's going to at least have a sigh of relief going into Game 4, with the score being only 2-1. It's going to be his map pick, Allegro. And we were talking about how Lurker Contain is apparently super deadly on here versus Protoss.
And we can see Soma is probably thinking what should be doing in game number 4. And Rain is just feeling very calm because he's still leading the score in this best of 7 series 2-1. Of course, he's probably not going to be happy to play on Allegro, but still with the okay-ish score. And I wonder what Rain is going to be doing in this game number 4. Is he going to be doing the pilot skill once again and just miraculously making this 4-player map into 2-player map again?
Yeah, if he finds Soma in the first position again, somebody's going to need to figure out what the heck Rain is on, because to scout first, back to back to back every single time, that would be incredible. Players are ready. Let's get into Game 4. It's Allegro, Rain versus Soma.
알레그로에서 게임을 시작합니다.
So in the top left position, it is Rain. And in the bottom right, with very strong Zerg play in the previous game, it is Soma. I think Rain needs to go back to the Sair opener, because the last game we saw almost no Sairs. He was not able to rack up any Overlord kills like he did in previous games, and Overlords obviously cost a lot, so I'm hoping we just see a more normal opener from him, get into the Sair count. Maybe he can pick apart some straggler Overlords whenever there's some chaotic engagements going on across the map.
I also want to see him not doing a 2-gate first before gas. I mean, on Butter he did it 2 gateway. He went for the 2 gateway, and everything did not work out. And that's not a pilot scout this time.
Yep, so finally, well, I mean, I guess he doesn't necessarily have to put down a gateway. Okay, there it goes. Now he's going to send the probe back down, and this will be a gateway expand. I think the chances of him going cross scout is super unlikely, but I guess it's possible. We'll see where he wants to go, and he has decided that he is going to go top right. And finally, Soma's going to be able to... Well, actually, Soma got down to 12 hatch, even though he did get scouted first last game. But this time around, again, it's going to be another 12 hatch.
And Rain is sending that first probe all the way to 1 o'clock. So this time he won't be first scouting Soma's base. And was this a 9-gate or 10-gate? If it was a 9-gate, then I have a feeling Rain is just going to be directly making 2 zealots in a row and then go for the expansion. And all those 2 zealots probably will harass Soma's 3rd expansion as much as possible, and not letting Soma to send out any Zergling to Rain's main base. So yeah, he's probably gonna be finding out here hatchery being morphed, and that's about like more than 50% done at this 2 minutes 15 seconds. So he should be knowing this has to be the hatchery first.
Yep, first zealot is moving out, and we did see a second probe went out to scout bottom left. He wanted to make sure that Lings, were not coming to his base, and he would have to turn around. And all series long, we've seen a very annoying probe, and this time around, it's very important to keep your drones as healthy as possible. That one's already one-shottable by a zealot, so Rain is looking to knock that drone in particular down. Behind this, straight into Nexus, no forge. That's going to be 3rd hatch at bottom middle.
Okay, now those are the eggs that Soma is right now making. He should be immediately making 8 Zerglings on the way. And I saw the supply count. Rain put down the Nexus at the 17 or 18, and then that means Rain skipped his a second zealot production. So I guess he just doesn't want to take any risk with this Zealot aggression with this 90 whatever he did started off with, because right now he's just chopping off all this unit production to have much quicker nexus and also the assimilator at the same time. That's why he can't really pressure Soma's third expansion as much as possible. And yeah, that's Zergling's now gonna be attacking the gateway.
Rain's in trouble because this is a lot of lings. It's non-stop lings, in fact. I think there's upwards of 14 lings out in the map. He only has 2 zealots. Forge isn't even done yet, so Can is not going to complete for any time soon. And these lings can just pick away at that gateway. He's got to be careful to not let lings slip in. He finds a surround onto the first zealot, and there's more lings to come. Luckily, another zealot pops out in time, so Rain's main is not going to, or Nat is not going to be breached, but it was a dangerous situation right there.
Well, I guess Soma made some mistake with his optimization. I don't see him there being started. He spent it on their Vespin gas for something else. It can be Metabolic Twist on the way. Okay, that Zealot is just doing fantastic micro. Surviving really well. Wow.
He saved all 3 of the zealots. I don't even know if, okay, he picks off one of them. I wonder if the lings are going to come in again for round 2 and pick off another one. That was fantastic micro from Rain to save as many zealots as possible. Still no cannon. Man, this guy is greedy. Now he's finally going to put one down. I saw Hydrogen, I think, right? Didn't we see that somewhere? Maybe not.
No, I don't think there was any Hydrogen yet, but I saw Soma started his lair tag. Not that quick because the game has gone for more than 5 minutes long and you still do not have any Zergling speed, plus you don't have your Spartak. Then Soma did mess up his optimization, but StarCraft is a thing that you just kind of have to compare with your opponent's strategy and so on. So Stargate is not that fast, and whenever Spire starts at when Stargate is 50% done, then this is kind of looking great for Soma. He won't be losing that many Overlord. And drones being now transferred, but these 2 zealots are going to be handling against these 6 Zergling.
Well, he's got to be careful with his zealots, because remember, those 2 zealots in the back are severely damaged. He's going to move into the sweet spot behind the mineral line. He does get there. Now he's going to trade very cost efficiently here. Lings will pick off 1 zealot almost instantly though, but really good control from both sides.
Okay, those zealots is just somehow doing some work here, picking up 1 drone earlier. Okay, he won't be getting the 2nd drone, so that's good for Soma. Seeing finally adding some Adun. Still no Templar Archive yet, but we see Rain. Did not see. No, I don't think the Corsair is out yet, is it? Oh yeah, that's the first Corsair is now out on the map. So Rain really needs to be very careful with his first Corsair, because with this first Corsair, he needs to collect all the information what he can get. Because is Soma doing like the 3 gas into like the Mira Scourge playstyle, or is he just going to do like the 2 gas only and pumping out lots of drone and then slowly switch over to Mass Hydrolist and whatsoever?
Yeah, first Scourge is out, and Corsair will get away. He does confirm the Hydrogen army. Ooh, he lost it! That Scourge came from out of nowhere, and that means that Rain does need to... Ooh, a 2nd Stargate! So this is going to be a lot of Sayers, a lot of Zealots. He has 2 gateways already done. He has +1 coming. And Rain, or Soma, has no idea that this is double Stargate follow-up.
Yeah, Rain is just pretty much believing that Soma probably gonna be doing some like +1 armor into Mass Mira Scourge playstyle. So pretty much taking a guess, but I guess before the Mira switch or whatever Soma can do in this type of game scenario, the number of a Corsair count is gonna be really large, and maybe he might gonna look for some type like a timing attack before Soma switch over to Mass Hydrolus here, we see him, he's making more Mutilis.
I've been paying close attention to Soma's gas. He's not spending a lot of gas. This is not Mutilis right now, even though he has the 3 gas. It looked like a Hydra cycle. So for now, this 2 Stargate play is not going to pay off. At least I don't think it's going to pay off, at least just yet. More cannons going down, more Corsairs being built. Now Soma has spent all of his gas, but I imagine that's, again, just for Hydras.
And Corsairs are now moving up. +1 Zala with the +1 Corsair, and now he's trying to bait these number of Mutilis. And yeah, Zealots are now moving forward, but how many Sunken Colony do you have at your 3rd expansion? And you don't have that many. And those Mutilis has been taking so much of a damage, and Scourge is... Okay. Well,
he doesn't get much damage done with the Zealots. He does manage to save the majority of the Corsairs. I think he lost 1, and actually it was more Scourge and more Mutas. I really thought that the amount of gas he spent, it was going to be Hydras. We do see the first couple Hydras did pop out at that 3rd base. Corsairs will retreat to safety, and just now Rain's putting up his macro gates at 9:30, so this is very, very late. The Sares and the Zealots really did not do the damage that he was looking to get.
yeah, he's just trying to aim for Soma, like diving into Rain's main base, but he's not actually aiming for that kind of playstyle. He just wants to defend those early Zala aggression with those pure Mutilis, and those Mutilis are heavily injured.
Yeah, they are heavily injured. They have the +1 armor, but the Sares have the +1 weapon. So negated upgrades right there. The Scourge do not find a connection. Archon also does not find a connection. So again, the Corsairs are going to be pushed back. And I don't know how many Sares Rain has built, but so far they really haven't done much. I don't even think they've killed a single Overlord. He loses another Sare. That's the 3rd one. So he's built 11 Corsairs in this game and really has got nothing in return. And Soma, look at the supply. It's 102 to 109. So Soma's killing it. He's going into the mid game in a fantastic position.
It definitely looking great, as how Nyoken mentioned about. And this game, I don't think I'm seeing robotic facility yet from Rain, because from the game number 1 and number 2, he did rush for those early robotic facility. But okay, that's a really, really weird Corsair Michael we have just got to see. And he just invested so much of gas for Corsair, but he's not earning much of benefit.
Yeah, he's now lost 6 Corsairs. He has 5 left over, which is still strong versus Mutas, but you don't really want Corsairs versus Hydras. The Mutas come in. They're going to not... Oh, they do get 1 Templar. Can he get the second one? The answer is yes. So unlike in the series versus Sulky, where Sulky was not able to get any Templar kills, he snipes both of the Templars. And now, sure, the army of Protoss is still strong, but there's lurkers here, and without Storm, he's never going to be able to break through this.
Yeah, those lurkers are just so useful to push away all the Zealot whenever they want. And is that the robotic facility now being built at the natural? So yeah, like I said, I mean, if the longer the robotic facility is getting delayed of this PBZ game scenario, this is really, really scary. Like, I mean, Zerg is just moving with this number of many of a Hydralist, and he can start doing the lurker contain.
Yep, and this is going to be the lurker contain that you talked about before the game even started. This is so many Hydras, he could even attempt to bust. He knows that the Templar count is exceptionally low. If he knocks down all the cannons, there's no detection. We may just see instant GG here. He has no detection. The Robo's not done. Counterattack of Zealots is not going to work. I think GG is coming. There it is. And Soma, with clutch defense versus the Corsairs, takes almost no damage, and then instant counterattack with the Lurker seals the deal.
Yeah, that game was really, really weird by Rain. I know he did practice a lot. He did practice a lot, but I wasn't expecting him, like, losing the game easily by these lurker attack or Hydra attack, because we have seen Rain versus Soki. Soki was constantly attacking, and he kind of played on a low eco style, and Rain was just able to make some comeback with switching over to Gun and making some observer and so on. But I guess we weren't able to watch that kind of game scenario because he wanted to rush for the second Stargate and try to get some benefit from out of there, but it did not work out so well in game number 4 there.
Yes, so another win for Soma, ties the score up to 2-2. So he's staging a really, really great comeback right now. Don't think we're going to be going into a break. I think we're going to go into the next game. If I remember correctly, we did that in the first round of 4. So map 5. Do you remember? Oh, it was Eclipse. Okay, so we've got Eclipse as map 5. And this is another 2-player map. I think we may see another 12 Nexus here. And so far, 12 Nexus has been a great opener for Rain.
Okay, so we are... I think we are going to be moving into game number 6 momentarily. And... yeah, I kind of need some water and break here. Because...
yeah, we are going to be going into game 5.
Yeah, I have really dry throat right now. My throat kind of hurts a lot. Yeah, so players are going to be moving into game number 5 soon. And... hopefully I want to see some like great long run of this game number 5 on Eclipse, because we have seen so many great games on Eclipse, not just only PvP.
Yep, so game 5 is up. We're going to get into it right now. It's going to put whoever gets a win here is going to be on match point, so very, very critical that your fan favorite takes the win here. Okay, in the top right, in the red, it is Rain. And in the bottom left, beasting it back up to 2-2, it is Soma. And now, no fast probe, so no proxy gates.
No proxy gate whatsoever. But I've seen Snow getting contained, and who was it? Bingsu was getting contained too, because we were all rooting for Hogwarts. Hogwarts students were all rooting for Hogwarts members, like, but they all got knocked out in round of 24. It was kind of frustrating to watch, frustrating for them. But we are seeing Rain. Pretty sure he will be playing something different than usual. And I'm seeing he's not doing the Pylon Scout. Maybe he will go for Nexus first.
It's possible, but it's a 2-player map. You know, Zerg is going to scout, or is aware that you're going to likely scout them very quickly. So it would be quite risky, and we do see that this is a 9-pool opener from Soma, and that is going to be a very fast forge. So he's, I guess, intending to cannon rush, but obviously not going to happen this time around.
Well, I like this. Instead of doing the Pylon Scout, he does the Forge Scout, and he's still able to figure out whether this is a pull first or the 12 hatchery first. And he can still decide whether he wants to go for the Nexus, but probably not, because he does not see any of a drone standing at the natural putting down the hatchery immediately, and drone is holding off at the ramp. And is he gonna be guessing and putting down the Nexus immediately? Hopefully not. Yeah, he's standing at the right next to the forge and confirming there's no hatchery at the third expansion. And look at that. I mean, he didn't confirm this is 9-pool, but he just knows this has to be 9-pool. 1 cannon into.
Yep, second cannon's going to go up. He confirms. Oh, maybe not. Is he really going to risk it and just put down a gate? Wait, even a Nexus?
Okay.
Oh, whoa. Don't you need double cannon to stop this?
Well, normally if you're facing against 9-pool, you kind of want to put down double cannon, but I guess he's just feeling confident. He wants to pull... He just wants to pull some probe to defend here. And I know his trick. He attacks his own building, like having these worker on a hold position. And this is one of the other way of not letting this probe like move and accidentally letting the Zergling get inside of a Preuss main base.
Well, Rain actually might be in trouble here because this is 7 Lings now, and knowing how Soma plays, he may go for it. He hasn't just yet, but Rain is aware of that. He's pulled an additional 2 probes, so this is 5 probes not mining. I realize his gateway is extremely fast, but I don't know if it's worth it to skip a second cannon to be forced to pull 5 probes. Now Overlord sees that there's only 3 probes here. He's still not going to commit to it. So for now, Rain will get away with the Nexus, but he did really hurt his econ pulling those 5 probes.
Yeah, so Rain is just trying his best with his optimization since he has skipped the second cannon in the early stage of the game. And the number of Zerglings still standing at the natural. Okay, so Cyberknight scores really fast from what I'm seeing. Rain, yeah, this is the thing. Like, if you just tackle that probe, then that probe will just move immediately, and you don't want that probe to be moved. You're attacking your own building to have like in another whole position. And now the first settler is out, so those probes are gonna be going back to mineral fields and start mining. And we are seeing really fast second gas by Rain. So this will be something maybe like a Corsair DT playstyle, like how Mini was doing against who was it? Soma or maybe Queen in the past? Okay, those probe still being alive. Stargate is, I think Stargate started from a long time ago, so probably like more than 50% done by now. And I don't see the Zergling speed still not done yet at a 5-minute mark of the game.
Yeah, still no Zergling speed. First Zealot did sneak out. In the main of Rain, I didn't see a so it's gonna be a late DT if he's on DT.
Okay, there's a Hydra Dam from what I'm seeing from Soma. And I guess the hatchery did not make for Soma there. Okay, he didn't make the hatchery. Zealot is both of the location. Gotta be careful for Soma. He wants to defend this Zealot aggression. Both location. And yeah, we'll be on a hold position behind the mirror line.
This done. Kills at the Nat.
There's a little bit of a connection issue with Nyoken. Hopefully his connection is back. And yeah, we are seeing the first Corsair moving out, picking up another drone. That's nicely done by Rain. And now Rain confirms there is no Spire whatsoever. So now that means he can skip all those photon cannon to defend any sort of like a Scourge or middleless harassment in early stage of the game. And that Corsair is being brave, picking up one of the Overlord and runs away.
Yeah, and he's going to get a second Overlord at the mid right, so we've seen this before. In the first 2 games, we saw Corsairs rack up multiple Overlord kills, and it really snowballed very hard when we saw Soma get supply blocked over and over and over. There's the Templar Archive for the DTs, potentially a 3rd Overlord even going to get picked off at top middle.
And that's a lot of Overlord getting hunted. And well, I guess the good thing about this lair into Hydra then is that you can kinda, I guess you can go for a Lurker Contain. Maybe that's what he's aiming for. That's the only possibility I can think of why he skipped a Spire tag, because you don't need to actually make that much of a Hydraless to defend early stage of the Corsair harassment. But I wasn't expecting like Rain will be picking up that many of a Overlord with this number of Corsair. So that's not looking great.
Yeah, whatever the reason is for Soma skipping the Spire, you can tell he's regretting it now because he's lost so many Overlords. and that's going to just stagnate his mid-game play. It's a 20 supply lead for Rain. Meanwhile, his build has not stagnated at all. He's ramping into his gateways. He's got 5 now, if I saw that correctly. And Speed Zealot's going to be moving to mid-left, and there's not a lot of defense here.
Yeah, that is definitely true, but sometimes Hydralisks, you cannot like underestimate Hydralisks. Hydralisks are somewhat tanky, and they're really strong against Zealot. They just melt those Zealot easily with small amount of Hydralisks. And if you're having the sim speed, it's also much easier. And the obelisk speed is already done for Soma, and normally you don't get the obelisk speed this fast, but if you're getting the obelisk speed really fast at this type of at this time of the game, like 8 minute 30, and you're selecting all of your army and starting to move out, but you gotta be careful. Rain started off with the DT follow-up before the High Templar.
Yep, and he's gonna try and knock down that Overlord, but not able to get it. Meanwhile, that army that was moving across the map from Soma has turned around. I mean, he seems to not really know what to do with his Hydras right now. He's just content with defending for now. But Rain's starting to build up that super comp. He's got the 4 Templars out banking up energy. Robo's done. So you know Cybernetics range is going to be completing pretty soon. And then Goons are going to start coming out.
Yeah, 3 Corsairs and a couple of Zealots are out on the map, but he does not see about these units being moved out. 3 Corsairs probably will be hunt another Overlord.
Yep, these Zealots did catch a handful of Hydras. Are not going to commit to it though. It's a little bit too many Hydras to actually take down. With Shuttle already moving out, it's going to be, I think, 2 Templars, 2 Zealots. Remember, the DT is sharking around. If he finds an opportunity at mid-left, you know he's going to strike while the Shuttle is dropping the natural. For now, Hydras and DTs are just going to go right by each other. And of course, there's looking for Overlord kills, but not able to find any.
And he's loading up more units at the bottom right side. These number of Corsairs are doing some work. Try to push all the Overlord away. And we can see Soma now making some Lurker eggs at the 4th expansion.
Here comes that drop. Meanwhile, of course, there's an attack going on, but the Hydras are already in position. He's got to desperately unload these ASAP. Good pull on the drones, but he still gets 4 drones with that single storm. There's a secondary storm that he doesn't realize he has. DT drops into the main. Oh, if he realizes that storm is available, he may be able to blanket a handful more of drones or Hydralisk. Well, he gets 2 drones, 3 drones, and he damages the Lurker. That was a really nice trade. Meanwhile, those Zealots at top left are going to trade effectively versus these Hydras and take those down.
Yeah, +1 armor is done for Rain. It's such a great trade and harassment for Rain and getting all this benefit from out there. But thing is, Rain needs to start pumping out lots of units because the game has gone for 11 minutes and 15 seconds, but you're still at 120-ish 120-ish army supply. Still not, it might be dangerous if Soma did not get much of a harassment and if he's just starting to make lots of Hydralisks and move out and try to do the Lurker containment or whatsoever. It would be a bad game scenario, but still okay.
Well, the Corsairs did die, which could be dangerous to Protoss if there was a Muta switch, but I don't remember seeing a Spire anywhere. So for now, there's still no threat of the Mutas swooping in and taking down some Templars. But what is a threat is Soma getting that 4th base. It's about halfway done, but this is so many Dragoons. There is a decent amount of Lurkers. Okay, 6 is a lot, but there's a lot of Templars here. If he can combo Storm plus Goon on top of the Lurkers, this should be a favorable engagement for Rain. Here it comes. The Observer does not get sniped. It survives with 1 health. Needs to be careful there, though. It does finally fall, but he has 2 more in the back.
Well, those Goons. I mean, I feel like Rain is really smart with this playstyle. I mean, if you see other Protoss players like playing against Zerg, against this type of like a Lurker defending line, they still keep the number of Zealot, like 2 groups of Zealot all the time, but Look at Rain. He plays like Terran, Marine medic playstyle. Like those goons are like Marine. Okay, maybe high tempo is like medic, like protecting your goon, peeling off from those like attack and Hydraless attacking, focus targeting on the goon, and he's efficiently trading.
He is efficiently trading, but Soma got very lucky to pick off that Templar that I think had full energy. One of these Templars has a storm available. I don't know which one, but they both die. Actually, Soma went for a drone cycle during the initial stages of that attack when he really needed Hydralus. And that might have been the difference maker here because Rain is pushing through the natural and it is the difference maker. A miss cycle in drones versus Hydras gives Rain enough of an advantage to push through for a victory.
And I mean, I'm just shocked like how he can easily break Zerg's defending line with just pure gun and high templar only, and he doesn't use that many of Zealot. And
Yeah.
Soma just misread something. I mean, I guess he was feeling confident to defend all sort of like attack, but just didn't work out.
Yeah, he killed a lot of the zealots that went for that counterattack at the fourth base while the drop was happening. He must have thought that the army was smaller than it was, and you saw him go for the drone cycle. They're losing some drones, so I guess he felt obligated. This is the drone or the storm drop that I'm talking about. There's like 9 zealots attacking that fourth base, so I think he killed all but 2 of them. So that's a lot of zealots to lose. But you can see the storms; they get so many kills here. The DT even racks up like 2 or 3 drone kills. So it was really good harassment. And Soma went from something like 45 or 48 workers down to just 37. He desperately needed more drones, but Rain was all units, and you can see it was just an overwhelming army, and he pushes for the victory. And now he's up 3-2, 1 point away from moving into the finals versus Light.
True. And Soma, he probably doesn't feel that great of losing that game number 5 here, because I mean the next map is definitely favored towards the Soma, but if you're just 1 game away of getting eliminated in this semi-final, you're just gonna. I mean, maps started to like doesn't matter for the player, because it's just starting to lose some confidence. I mean, Soma needs to keep up and started to think how he should be setting up his mindset.
Potentially the final game of the day is coming up. It's going to be Game 6, Monopoly. Rain up 3-2, so close to making it into the finals. And Soma, he needs a win here. You know, he really wants to make it to the finals and prove that he is a championship level player. But so far, Rain has just been picking him apart in a couple of these games.
And I think on Monopoly we have, I think I have seen one of the game. I don't know whether it was Soma versus the other Protoss. Some Zerg player did 9 hatchery. I think that was Soma. So 9 hatchery on Monopoly, and if it's a gateway first, since the Monopoly, the rush distance from natural to the natural is really short, that you can pressure your opponent with a 9 hatchery and making tons of Zergling, pressuring your opponent and start taking down the gateway, and you can make the game really short. And I'm pretty sure Rain probably studied off of that before, and I have a feeling Rain, I don't think he will be doing something like a gateway follow up first. Maybe he will be going for the Forge expand, like as usual, for just like a game number 5.
Well, that's something to keep in mind. We'll see if Rain will go for something crazy like the gateway or potential proxy gates, which we saw in Soul Keys series. Game 6 is ready. Let's find out. Can Rain close it out, or will Soma tie it up 3-3?
모노폴리에서 게임을 시작합니다.
Okay, in the mid-right position, one game away from making it into the finals, it is Rain. And in the top left are Zerg. It is Soma.
And so far we are seeing nothing is going crazy. And this type of map, you cannot do any proxy double 9 gate like we have seen from last week, how Rain was doing it against Soki. You are not going to be seeing that kind of game style. But we are seeing Soma directly sending his first overlord to bottom left side. And I have to keep my eyes on Soma's money with his mineral, whether he's going to be morphing morphing an overlord or 9 hatchery.
Yep, we do see Pylon at the natural, of course. He is going to find Soma with the first position. Monopoly is one of those maps where if you are out of position, even for just a few seconds, you could get punished very fast. And we know that both of these players love to be super active on the map. I have a feeling it may come down to that. Is someone way too far out of position, and a counterattack could end the game. Okay, gas. Okay, that's going to be canceled. 9 pool. So 9 pool gas. Oh, he spots the creep. Just going to sit here for a little bit. Sees no drone coming, and now going to confirm the pool timing.
Yeah, there's now the pull being done, and drone is spitting on probe and chasing. Forge is going up.
Yep, so it is going to be the Forge as expected, especially since it's a pool first opener. I remember last game we saw a Forge opener also, and it was a Nexus off of just one cannon. I wonder if Rain will go for the same thing this time around. Not as good of a SimCity, I don't think, as Eclipse, so it could be a bit dangerous to go for that.
Well, I like this decision making because of since Soma has seen how fast the Pro Scout was, he knows this has to be a Forge expand by Rain, and he, instead of making 6 Zergling, he queued up everything drone and only 2 Zergling production on the way.
Yeah, now I guess Protoss could have canceled that, but I'm not going to risk it. First 2 Lings come out just now. Going to try and push this probe back. But that was a nice move from Soma there to sneak in 2 more drones in the early stages that he may not have had. Meanwhile, Nexus was not delayed at all, and it's going to be gateway follow-up.
Okay, there is a third hatchery being morphed, and something that I have to be mentioning about this game would be Soma's gas timing. I mean, the Soma's gas timing was going up before the third hatchery, so that means there's a small chance that Soma might gonna do something like Zergling speed into Hydrodan, or maybe even go for the lair attack and pretending that, hey Rain, I'm doing for the lair attack, and then as soon as he picks up the lair, or maybe even leaves Soma's main base, then maybe he might gonna cancel it, like how Action has done freestyle against Shuttle, the building double Hydrodan.
Yep, there's the Hydrogen at the natural, and Soma may cancel it now that he sees the second probe. I was going to point this out that Rain already knows the subtle differences between a 255 gas and a 245 gas. So he's checking to see if there's anything going on. He sees the Hydrogen at the natural. He also wants to confirm where's that third hatch. And look at this. He drilled with the probe to get into the main. He now knows that, of course, the third hatch must be at mid-left. But that was nice intel to send out a secondary probe to figure out exactly what's going on. He may lose both, though.
Well, that probe still being alive, and now Zealot is coming. And yeah, since he does not have the metabolic boost, it's kind of hard to chase and catch the probe.
The Zealot is hanging out near the center of the map, just out of vision of the Overlord. Did not help that probe out. So the probe, well, it's done a good job to stay alive. It has been pushed back, not getting any intel on whether Hydras have been pumped out or not. Now that's a cute move. He's going to build a single goon, knock down the Overlord. That's going to prevent Soma from actually committing really hard to Hydras. Otherwise, he's going to be really supply blocked and starved for Econ. Obviously, his drones would be, or drone cycle would be way late.
Yeah, now this probe still buying some time and figuring out what exactly Soma is doing, and I would like to see Soma's building count. Okay, he did start his lair attack.
Yep, lair tech is coming. Citadel follow-up. So if Soma wanted to face a Citadel opener, well, he's got what he wanted. The Stargate was not built at all. Second gateway's already up. So it is going to be a lot of Zealots coming real quick, and it does force out multiple cannons. So nice mind game so far from Soma. He does need to start droning, though, if he's going to really mind game. But instead, Hydras are coming.
Yeah, the number of Zerglings are spread around the map to figure out what exactly is going on by what exactly Rain is actually pretending to do in this type of game, number 6. And Hydralists are now coming, as you mentioned. And Rain does have 2 photon cannon, but I don't think this is more than enough to hold off.
Well, this is not a committed Hydra attack. It's just 4 for now. He may build a couple more. The gateway may get taken down, but the Citadel is so fast that he may not even be able to take down the Citadel. Now that's a Spire follow-up, so this is going to be... Oh, look at the read from Rain. A 2 Stargate follow-up. He's thinking to himself, man, I know you didn't just build 4 Hydras, so where's those resources going? And this is the correct read here. Soma's going to have really good Scourge control like he had on Allegro. Otherwise, this is going to be so hard for Soma to deal with. The Forge might get taken down. Now, that's a big deal because his +1 has been upgrading for a while now. He does push back the Zerg forces, and now he's on the offensive, and he may catch Soma powering a little bit too hard going into the Spire. Sunken desperately going up at the natural. Rain should know that, hey, you're missing a lot. Like, you should definitely have more Hydras in this. And even when he comes in here and sees only 1 Hydra or 2 Hydras, he should know that something's going on.
Well, it's good to see that he's building 1 second column each expansion to defend. Okay. Thing is, Soma is on such a low eco style. He did not put down his 5th hatchery.
Yeah, and now Rain is very confident that this has to be Mutas because there's no drones here, there's no Hydras here, there's no SimCity. Now, of course, he sees the Mutas, so now he's 100% certain that this is the case. Now, the question to me is, will Soma commit to this? The answer is yes. He's already sending to the main. Sares are already set up. There's a cannon almost done. 2 Sares are going to push this back, and Soma with almost no eco is in a dire situation.
And this is definitely not looking great because he wanted to hold off this Zealot aggression with the somewhat late Muta switches. but things are not working out so well, and the number of Corsair is just getting higher and higher for Rain, that he will be easily defending those Mutalist harassment momentarily. And he still does not see the Stargate, but there are lots of Corsairs.
Yeah, he will catch a couple of Mutalists, but Soma actually, even though he really cut in the early stages to get this fast tech, he did not commit to the Mutalists. He just built 5 and is actually droning behind this. So his econ and supply is relatively high compared to Rain's. Like, this is still a good situation for him. Sure, it's double Stargate, and that's going to be a nuisance to deal with, but it's not as bad as I was anticipating. Scourge gets another connection. It's now down to just 5 Sayers.
Well, it's kind of shocking to see how easily he finds every single overlord out on the map. More gateway being built. I want to see fast robotics facility this game.
Well, so far there's no robo. There's just a gateway flood coming in. I think he's up to 6 or 7 gateways, and now Rain's confident that, okay, you're not heavily committing to mutas. I can stop building the Corsairs. The mutas come in and see that the double Stargate is still producing Corsairs, so he should be feeling pretty good that his mind game, I would say, is successful. He's gotten his 3 bases running, he's gotten his 6 hatches up, and he's forced a lot of gas into these Corsairs that really haven't done a lot of damage.
And more Hydralisks are now being made. Zealots are gonna be walking towards the bottom side, so I guess he wants to have some vision and maybe clear some Zergling if it's ever standing. And finally, like I say, I wanted to see robotic facility, because whenever Rain rushes for the super fast robotic facility, he just plays absolutely beast. I mean, he doesn't get lurker contain. He does some sort of like a DT drop, harassment, and a storm drop and whatsoever. It's just so beautiful. And I guess since he invested all those Vespene gas in the early stages of the game with the double Stargate, it's just so much, and got some delayed with the number of Corsair that he invested, and now I think it should be the go time for him.
Yeah, a lot of Hydras moving across the map. They're going to find more Corsairs. Don't manage to pick off any. Behind this, Rain is taking a 3rd base. But I'm excited that we did get into mid-game with good eco from both players. Lurkers should be coming out pretty soon, and we've seen Soma have a lot of success with them. Sure, he died on Eclipse when he got the Lurkers, but the Butter game was fantastic. He's really maximizing the amount of damage every time he gets Lurkers out onto the map. And with 4 bases about to complete, we may get into a very long, epic game on Monopoly.
Okay, we are seeing lots of overlord moving to the top right side, so maybe since this is a map where you can do like some type of like a short distance drop, and yes, this is what I'm seeing. And the Corsairs are out of position. Rain knows what's coming. He's trying to defend, but Corsairs are out of position.
Oh, that's not a fake. He may think it's a fake, but it's actually not a fake. A storm onto the Overlords would, I don't think, be a waste here. He could easily soften them up and then use the Corsairs to combo. Instead, he's not going to commit to it. He is just going to take his 3rd base. He just did a big probe transfer down there. But Monopoly, as he stated, is a very, very small map. So now the Corsairs have to be diligent to make sure a drop never gets in. The Corsairs got caught by Hydras because, like I said, he thought they were empty, and he loses 4 Corsairs for free.
And now some of Hydralisks will be drawing some of the attention at the bottom side. So I guess Soma is now ready. He's bringing some of his lurker. He does have his 4th base, but we can see the observer showed us that he does not have any drone setup. So that hatchery is just pretty much like a macro hatchery. He's not even planning to mine any of mineral, but okay, this Hydralisk.
Oh, it's a fake. He's trying to draw the units out of position to set up for a bigger attack, but did not fall for the bait is Rain. Really good defense there. He does have his 3rd base up and running. No 3rd gas, though. And of course, Protoss really desperately needs 3 gases. But I'm just got my eye on this top side of the map. Anytime Protoss is overextended, I imagine we're going to have a Doom drop into the main.
Yeah, I see your point here, and we can see the observer just now showed us Rain has the +2 attack. And what's your upgrade, Soma? You have only +1 attack, so that's pretty much he's behind with his upgrade. Guns are gonna be very tanky, soaking up lots of hit momentarily when we see the fight, and we can see there's lots of eggs.
He caught him in a lurker switch. There's only 2 lurkers right now. Okay, thankfully the lurkers do complete, and Soma should hold this. The storms are fantastic. A lot of zealots are bleeding off though. Big storms. He's going to be in range of the hatchery, but will he commit further past his hatchery? It looks like he is just going to try and knock down the hatch and back off potentially. Storm, nope. Templar moved in like he is going to commit here. That's an ambitious move. There's a ton of Hydras in the back.
Yeah, hatchery has gone down. Sunken colony has gone down. I mean, this trade is just not looking great for Soma, I would say. I mean, okay, yes, picking out the observer, that's good because you will be buying some time. But I don't know how Soma is going to be keeping up the game. He's just started his hype tag, and in this type of game scenario where he took his 3rd base at the 10 o'clock site, how is he going to be adding his macro hatchery like on other additional bases, and how does he really want to split the map in half if he's rushing the hype at this moment of the game?
Yeah, I thought once he got top middle, his angle was going to go top right, and then he's going to split it that way, and then he also has drop potential. Now, crucially, Rain is going to find this center hatch, and it's an island, so he's going to need to build a shuttle, but it's going to be hard for Zerg to reinforce there. Hydras find a couple of Templars, get 2 of them. Rain's attacking on the left side of the map at the same time, though, and this is about to get wild. There's not that much defense at the left side. There's a lot of zealots. Okay, there is a decent amount of Hydras, but there's so much Protoss.
Soma is a big time trouble because Guns, High Templars are moving forward, and they're about to like go for some trade here. And okay, I guess Rain is just not feeling that confident to do the bust, but we can see he's just drawing so much of attention at the 9 o'clock site. But Guns are really tanky. +2 armor is paying it off so well, and I guess the High Templar does not have enough energy to cast any spells yet. But looks like the army, Soma's army, is getting cleared up. More reinforcement is coming, and no sunken. Okay, there's a 1 single colony at the natural, but those Zerglings does not have the crackling upgrade yet, so everything just dies really fast.
Yeah, and the 2 armor, I mean, Lings do almost no damage. It's just too much Protoss. The snowball is in full effect. It's 145 supply to just 85. Like we stated earlier, he's dancing the Goons. He knows he's done it. He's so close to just getting the victory, but Soma not tapping out just yet. But there's just no way to recover. There's too much AoE, too much powerful Protoss units. He's got 4 bases too. It's not like he's even all in here. Desperation, Sunken's going up. But unless he can also secure his mid base, which he can't because there's a shuttle unloading there. There it is. There's the GG. And Rain, he's done it. He's going to move into the finals for the first time in a very long time.
That's very impressive, like how well he can actually multitask against Soma. And we have seen how Soma being dominant against Russian round of 8, and everyone knows Rain took a long break, 948 days of break, not playing on a competitive scene, and it's his first time playing on an ASL after the break, and he's just immediately on the ASL final stage.
Yeah, I wish I could just take a break for multiple years and then just any tournament I enter, just make it straight to the finals. And he's one of the best PvT players on the planet. Like, when he faces off versus Light in the finals, it's going to be very tough for Light. I think Light's TVP is top notch, like actually probably the best, especially in split map scenarios. But he's going to have a really tough time versus Rain, who's freaking all over the place, man. I mean, there was never a fight where he was only attacking in one spot. He was literally always attacking 2 or 3 locations at the same time.
Yeah, look at those one group of Zala on the other side of the map, buying so much at the time, and Gun, High Templar Observer, moving to this side, and we can see he just plays so smart. I mean, if we see other Protoss players playing against Zerg, they always have Zealot Gunther standing together, but he always separates his Zealot. He always separates his Zealot and just microing his Gun and High Templar only to like peel off Zerg army there. Like, look at that. His Zealots are on hold position, and now he knows there's no leftover unit. He just dives in. It's so beautiful and efficiently fighting against Soma's army.
Yeah, and also those 6 hiders that were in the center of the map obviously weren't helping in this fight. So he had to diligently load up those hiders, then re-unload them here, which you just saw. And Rain's just thinking like, well, you can't defend the mid and the top and the left side. If I just do another concentrated attack like he did on Butter, I'm going to bust through somewhere. I mean, it's just a fact. You can't be everywhere. And it was just perfection from Rain all day long. I really did like Soma's builds once he got into the lurkers. The first couple games where he went for the Hydrogen didn't work out so effectively, but games 3, 4, 5, and 6, much better openers. It's unfortunate that he has to fall because Soma's such an innovative and strong player. I know a lot of people love Soma, but it was all Rain today, and I'm looking forward to his interview.
And let's see here. Maybe we don't have the sound. Maybe we don't have the sound from Castor Park, so we'll be opening up the ASL mainstream platform.
뭔가 좀 오랜만에 돌아오면은 실력이 100%가 안 나와야 되는데.
Okay, the Castor Park is saying, since you have been taking a break for a long time, you aren't supposed to show like full skill, like on perfect form, but this is your first time of playing on an ASL after the long break, and now you're once again back to the ASL final. How do you feel? So Rain is saying he didn't notice the meta has been shifted, like a Speed Shuttle High Templar playstyle and so on, but he kind of thinks that he just have a lot of great talent in game. So I guess he kind of agrees with the people's opinion. Like he's kind of agreeing about it. So he's kind of glad to be on an ASL final. And he's talking about the game against Soma, that Soma was doing lots of 973, and it's just things worked out so well for him. So a lot of fans probably think you're right with your talent, like how much how smart you are in the game. And any last word to your fans? And he's always thanks to his fans. And whenever fans are saying, "Oh, you're playing bad, you're playing really bad," but he always wants to prove that, "No, you're wrong. I can play much better than that." And he's glad that he able to prove to his fans that he can play better than what they're expecting. And in the ASL final, you're going to be playing against Light. How do you feel about the final match? And Rain is saying he did win against Light 2-1 on round of 16, but he didn't notice Light is really strong. He kind of had some lucky moment as well in that game too. But this time, since this time it is going to be a best of 7, he needs to prepare more. And with his confidence of today, he has a great feeling that he will be winning the ASL final against Light. Is there any other people that you would like to mention and appreciate to them? And he's saying about the practice partner, Shine, and some others are clear. I think he also said about Sox3. He really wants to say thanks to them. because he's pretty much taking away their time, their live stream schedule. So he's really appreciating for his practice partner. He's also saying thanks to the school team. He's in a YS University. It's one of the Africa content StarCraft University team, and he's thanking to his students, like cheering for him. He also wants to say thanks to the sponsor guy. And thanks for showing such a great game of this today's game, and congratulations making it into the ASL final. And that's about it for the interview. So that was a very interesting interview from what Rain was saying, that he's having such a great feeling that he's going to be taking down Light in the ASL final.
Yeah, I mean, Rain's amazing in PvP, PvT, PvZ, but Light is so strong TvP. And someone was translating the comments of, I think it was Rain, C, and Brittany all on stream watching the TvP between Light and Bisu, and they were saying there's only one other person on the planet that can play the split map style, and that's Flash. So to be in the same level of Flash in terms of potential TvP talent, I mean, you gotta be feeling like you're a superstar in PvT if you actually think you're gonna actually win versus a Terran like that. We're getting a rundown of how the games went today. Starts off 2-0 for Rain, then bringing it back is Soma 2-2. But then Rain, with some killer instincts in games 5 and 6, manages to take the series. And this is going to be the first time he's in the finals since a long time. I was going to say maybe it's season 5 where he won it all. Before then, it was just 3rd place and 4th place. Obviously, very good showing, but he has not been in the finals in 8 seasons.
Yeah, in season 5, one of the memorable tournament, because of a lot of Terran players were complaining that the maps were really hard. Like the third map was a 2-player map with this really weird split map scenario about Terran cannot split up the map, and it ended up having 4 Protoss in that ASL Season 5, I believe, and Rain was playing a bunch of PvP and showed to us that he's a PvP god.
Yeah, I remember that tournament because, like you said, of the weird map. I think it was Third World.
Yeah, the Third World, not third map. Third World, yes.
That was, as soon as I saw it, I just thought to myself, okay, well, what does Terran do here versus Protoss? But actually, there was a lot of clever builds. In fact, we saw Valkyrie Wraith from Flash. There was a lot of innovative play, and I really did enjoy that, even though it seemed very hard for Terran. But this time around, definitely not going to be very hard for Terran, because Monopoly is a great map. All the maps seem very good for all the races. Metaverse, a good map for carrier play, and we know that, or it seems that players don't like Metaverse a lot. So if we get to Game 7, we could have an epic game, series-ending game on Metaverse.
Yes, that's correct. And there we can see at the bottom, ASL Season 13 Finals. The finals gonna be casted on April 9th, Saturday, 6 p.m. Not 7 p.m. So it's going to be 1 hour ahead. Do not forget, it's 1 hour ahead this time. And they're also selling the seat for the ticket on April 6th. And there are 100 seats available. So if you guys are living in Korea or traveling in Korea and still want to check out ASL offline stage, then please check it out. And the 3rd place match will be casted on April 5th, Tuesday at 7 p.m. It is going to be Soma versus Bisu, and I have seen Soma versus Bisu best of 5 series on maybe that was in season 8 or somewhere around there, and Soma was busting Bisu's natural with the 973 on the Neil Silphid at the last game or something.
I can't remember. There's so many games to watch, but that should be a great series because Soma played very well. Bisu played very well in his last series too, and we know he's an expert PvC, so that should be a very close series. That's going to be a best of 5 if I remember correctly, not a best of 7, but still exciting regardless. But today, you remember all those predictions for Soma? Did not come true. There was only like 3 people predicting rain, and actually he makes it out with the 4-2 score. Every game today was very good, I thought, except for maybe Allegra. I mean, that ended very abruptly, but it was really good defense from Soma on that map, and then a killer counterattack. I loved Soma's uses of Scourge today. He actually connected so many times on the Corsairs. He's getting a lot of value with them, but the engagements from Rain were just so fantastic, especially his goons and Templars. They did so much work.
Mm-hmm. And after watching this best of 7 series, some of the thought just came into my mind is that Soma reinvented that 2-hatcher meta and pretty much changed the ZVT meta, but I kind of find his ZVP is still lacking with some experience, or maybe I should say the knowledge, like how just have to mention again about like Hyuk's analysis. Like, you cannot do no layer tech into Hydroden against Nexus first, and he has done it 3 games in a row, I believe, and all those games did not work out, for sure.
Yeah, for sure that was a blunder in retrospect, but there's so many mind games going on. I'm sure Protoss is aware, or Rain in the scenario is aware that, okay, you can't Hydra bust me, so you're not going to do it. But Soma may be thinking like, okay, I know that I can't do it, so I'm actually going to do it, right? There's a lot of mind games going on at the top level. Even like super minor things can be all the difference. Or if you make an attack but it's 5 seconds late, maybe lurkers are set up, or maybe there's just that one extra round of macro that Zerg has and they can hold your attack. Everything is so razor thin at the top level. So you can't really fault Soma. I think he played fantastic today.
Yeah, that is also true. But yeah, I wasn't expecting how well Rain is gonna be performing today's game. Well, there were some like a lucky moment, like making the 4-player map like a 2-player map. But it looks like Korean casters has done wrapping it up. Thanks for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching, and we will be back Tuesday for the 3rd place match, and Saturday, remember, 1 hour early for the finals match. It's going to be very, very exciting. Light versus Rain.